Happy holidays, you filthy animals. It is so bad it's good. It would be a horrible mistake on our part if we didn't do a holiday episode. And my favorite episodes this year are where we recap movies for 8 hours at a time. And there's only one person I recap movies with, and that is the one and only Annabelle DeSisto from the podcast Adderalls and Compliments. And today we will be doing a holiday classic. I mean, truly a holiday classic. There's no joke there. It is Home Alone with little Mr. Macaulay Culkin. Annabelle, how are you today? By the way, I don't know if anybody will watch this on YouTube, but I had asked Annabelle, I said, could you put on a little like holiday outfit or something like that? And so I'm in a full, there's like a skirt attached, and Annabelle just put on a dark green t-shirt.
Okay, number one, how dare you? It is a wet sweatshirt.
You're sweating already? You're sweating already?
No, it is still wet from the dryer. I with my ADHD, and I'm sure many of the baddies relate to this, maybe, or hope I'm just telling myself that to rationalize it to myself that I'm not a completely disgusting person. When you like decide to do your bedding and you're like, I'm gonna like wash my bedding and I'm gonna do this, and then it's like, then your motivation like ends and your bedding is like already in the wash, and then you're like, I'm just gonna sleep on like a crack house mattress for like a week, which is what
that's what this little Kevin is already better at you. This little Kevin is like doing laundry during Home Alone.
Doing laundry? They've been gone for like 24 hours and he already has like
he's already doing bedding. He's like going to the grocery. He does more stuff.
King of England. I'm tearing them down like I'm stealing them.
I feel like you're the two burglars, Marv and Harry. I feel like you are the two burglars and you're Kevin McAllister, the Home Alone kid, in one person. I feel like you are Kevin in that you're good-hearted, but you're also the two burglars that try to rob every piece of happiness you have in your life. You do it to yourself, Annabelle. Is there any truth? Did you watch this movie going, I empathize and recognize both all these characters?
It was like I was in one of those like funhouse mirrors. It was just mirroring myself back to me, just in every scene. Besides with Catherine O'Hara, because she's like she's in her 30s and she has
Catherine O'Hara. By the way, Catherine O'Hara.
I'm a very young 30, and I'm like not living on a mattress. So thanks for doing this. I have to make my bed.
One of many fun facts you're going to hear in this 8-hour podcast is Catherine O'Hara was 18 years old when she filmed the role of Macaulay Culkin's mom in Home Alone. 18 years old. She played Macaulay Culkin.
I can't tell.
No, I'm not serious. No, I'm not serious at all. No, she was like 38 or 30. She was, by the way, but she was really young. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where I think somebody tweeted this last year about what her actual age was when she filmed, and it depressed me for a whole month. So I'm not going to even actually go find the actual fact, but she was like, I think in her early 40s or something, or late 30s. And I was like, because when I saw Home Alone in the theaters as a kid. And like, when you're a kid, you look at these people and you're like, oh my God, they're so old. And now I look at it and I'm like, Catherine O'Hara looks so young. Like, it's so weird how that person, and that Macaulay Culkin, I mean, what a star no wonder that kid took off like a rocket ship. But like, anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
No, he is.
How are you, Annabelle?
That was a very long, rambling answer from me, which is just very on brand for all of my answers. That I am wearing a wet sweatshirt. My God, I keep saying sweatshirt. It doesn't have a hoodie. It's a sweater.
Not saying wet. That's really weirding me out.
It was still damp.
It was a moist sweatshirt.
I was going to say,
it's moist everywhere.
So moist. Because I put it in there with my bedding because it's my power color, which is olive green. And so,
wait, who gives you your power color? Is that like a bird, like
myself.
Your middle name? Oh, okay, myself, so you feel the most powerful? Black. My power color is black.
Well, that's original. But you are. Listen.
Am I pulling off? I'm pulling off red stripe. Oh my God, Annabelle.
There's the fact that like you are in, oh fuck, oh my God, I wish that I had, oh my God, can I run down for?
This is how these things get so long, folks.
I'm
Annabelle's all of a sudden
no,
like, can
give
I
me,
go
like,
down? I'm going to just
no,
20 miles. I got to
okay.
drive 20 miles in Aiken, Georgia, and I want to go run
Okay,
to the Walmart.
just have to go into town real quick and buy something at Target. Okay, no, I didn't know we were doing a theme, but can I show? I won't wear it the whole
What do you
time.
mean we didn't know we were doing a holiday movie? What do you mean you didn't know we were doing a theme?
Last time for the ring for our Halloween movie, I had a full horse skeleton and you had nothing. I had a full horse skeleton, obviously not real. But
I had a full well I climbed out of in the
not
beginning.
via Mercari.
I got a VCR and I got the actual tape that the ring.
That's how you watch all of your movies on VCR, Ryan.
By the way, I did own Home Alone on VHS. Just for anybody. Wait, what do you need to run and go get?
I was gonna get my Christmas mask. I'm gonna wear for a parade.
Wait. Okay, wait. I need to let's catch up with Annabelle for a quick second since it's been a month.
It's not gonna make sense.
No. Let me ask the questions. Why are you wearing a Christmas mask in a parade? Can you explain what the parade is first off to us?
Okay, it was going to be an Aiken horse parade, which they do it every year in downtown. Like last year, 300 horses were in it. It's surprisingly very big. People are watching it the whole time, and it's a 2 hour it's a very big deal here. And so I just couldn't leave well enough alone. I had to be the narcissisto that I am and be like, I'm gonna wear a costume this year, because obviously I wore red sequined Liberace jacket last year. Everyone is in
Willy Wonka, like Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka.
Exactly. I had the giant glasses. I had the questionable domestic
the bruising.
Exactly. I had all of it. I shit in my own bed to really commit to the character, which is why I had to do laundry again. But I don't know why this year I was like, I'm going to do a costume because I already have the best looking horse in the parade. And
Which your horse Loki, by the way, if you go to Annabelle's Instagram account, I think maybe I saw it on Facebook. I don't know, but she's doing all sorts of tricks on Loki. She's a super professional rider. There's no joke there. It seems like you're really getting good at your craft.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. I mean,
that was actually mainly a compliment for Loki first off, but Loki seems like it's really good.
That means a lot. It's actually Drago, but they do.
I thought it was Loki.
No, not all of my horses look the same, Ryan.
No! I cannot get. Wait! Did I just get in trouble with the horse?
They're twins. I'm sorry I'm sorry. One of them.
Oh, did I offend the horse community? Did I get? I'm gonna get a letter from the horse community. People. Oh no! Not all horses are the same. Oh no!
No, I'm sorry. They are, even though they look the same, they are two different entities. Listen, one is British and lives over there. One is here, but they both love peanut butter on Oreos, and then that's how they found out that they were secretly related. So it's kind of like a parent trap situation. But no,
folks listening out there, it's gonna be okay. She's working through some stuff.
I'm trying to work you back from your speciesism. I don't know.
Okay, so Drago, that's the one that's doing all the cool tricks. Drago. Sorry, Drago, pizza, tomato. Okay, so you're in this parade. You're gonna dress in a big costume, and so
I was going to.
Wait, what do you mean was? What happened to the parade?
No, the parade's still going on. RJ has told me.
That's your dad, by the way, you guys.
Oh yeah, that's my roommate, one of my roommates. Which is
by the way, you guys do realize I've been doing a podcast with a 15-year-old named Annabelle DeSisto for the last 3 years that still lives with her family. So
okay, I would say quarantining.
By the way, Annabelle doesn't realize that there's been a vaccine and that we're allowed back out in the world. So
I'm not going to get a microchip so that they can track me.
Yeah,
no, I don't want Bill Gates knowing everything I do.
Yeah, no. I'd rather just go on Twitter and put all my thoughts there. So wait, what happened to the parade?
I came to quarantine, and then I got into riding, and now I got 2 horses, and it's like being a teen mom where I'm like, I didn't expect them, but they're the greatest blessing. And now how do I bring them back to a West Hollywood apartment? Because Ryan will not.
This is the same thing that Farrah Abraham from Teen Mom had to deal with. I think a lot of the same issues.
This is why
of like, how do you continue in Hollywood? I think this is
article about saying we're taking time apart.
Wait, Annabelle, I know this is a family show today, you guys, but what let me just pitch something. Drago and you, OnlyFans.
Okay, well, who am I
OnlyFans account. OnlyFans account. You and Drago.
Drago. It's Drago.
I thought it was Drago.
It's Drago.
I swear to God, just a second ago, you told me Drago.
Like Ego, but Drago.
No, I understand what Ego. I understand the sound that Ego makes. I just thought you would say Drago.
I'm sorry. All I hear when I say, anytime I say Ego, I just think of that sad, was it still on Snapchat when Rob Kardashian was going around after Black China moved out, and he was posting on Snapchat that she had taken all the Egos?
Wait, no, I'm not even aware of it. I just remember the time where like he started like posting nude photos of her vagina on like, and it was like sexually harassing her. And like, it was like not okay, but he was going around Snapchat posting that he took his good food.
He was doing I'm pretty sure it was like a Snapchat like tour of, okay, I'm going to put Rob Kardashian.
Wait, also, remember that time when Black China went online and made fun of Kris Jenner shopping for Rob, and it was like all healthy food products?
Okay, yeah, it says Rob Kardashian, Black China took all his food, and then it like has like the video of him going through and showing all the stuff that she took, and one of them is him showing off like the empty Eggo. Oh, there's actually a meme of Black China as the Grinch, and she has an Eggo box.
So it's like a lot of like when wives leave their husbands or whatever, it'll be like, she took the kids, man. But for Rob, it was like, she took the Eggos, man. She took, my kids. Like, she took the Eggos. Why
did Kris Jenner? I was like, yeah, you failed.
Rob, did she take your Eggos,
on the Kendall Jenner Pepsi?
Did she take
commercial.
Your Eggos? That's it.
That's why I'm like, that's when Kris Jenner should have gotten in and been like, Eggo company, Rob Kardashian, my son, he'll supply the entire crew with Arthur George socks. That's how we'll pay you. And
I'm Rob Kardashian
for Corporation. It will be Rob.
I'm Rob Kardashian for Eggos.
And Eggo, my Eggo. And it's just him surrounding.
He's in a car outside Black China's house with boxes of Eggos. When your woman takes your Eggos, get back and get vengeance. Just like Macaulay Culkin does in the movie Home Alone. Anyway, so are you doing this parade with Drago or not? What are we doing?
No, he's told me.
Drago told you? The first told
you. No, Drago was really supportive. He was like, I'm so excited about it. That's what he told the animal communicator, which, by the way, maybe you guys can pressure Ryan into doing the gift that I got him of the animal communicator.
Okay, I'm sorry. Annabelle actually got me the coolest gift, and I told my ex about it, and my ex loves this, like loves it. She was like, no way. But I have not done. She got me a pet psychic for Brooklyn, and I'm not even joking. I either forget about it or I haven't had time. It's been a little stressful these last couple of years, but especially this last month. So I definitely, and by the way, I was going to say, when I remembered it last time, or when you reminded me, I was like, oh, I wonder if the pet psychic will allow me to put it on the show. Because I thought, like, if I could promote her,
absolutely.
Like, if I could,
I already asked her. I already told her.
Are you? Okay, because I think that would be an amazing segment. Like, and but you can come on with us too. But like Brooklyn, like
I'm not really a fan of your show, Ryan. But
yeah,
very nice.
What if Annabelle goes? It's a little long. It's a little. It's a little.
I'm not sure if you read my iTunes review. I left.
It rambles and it doesn't get to the point. They say they're doing Home Alone, but I haven't heard it in the first 2 hours. I seem to remember it was a movie with Macaulay Culkin, I believe. No, the pet psychic thing, Annabelle, like what I'm saying is that you got like, I love that people think that me being forgetful and disorganized is a bit. Like people are like, why didn't you do this yet? I'm like, because I totally fucking forgot and my whole life's disorganized. Is that good? And people are like, sure, Ryan. Like, I love that. I'm like, hey, I am ignoring a pet psychic. My plan is working brilliantly. In fact, somebody got me a massage, like a gift certificate to a massage. And that was like 6 months ago. And I'll remember, like, sometimes I'll be going to sleep, like going like, oh, my body really hurts. Oh, I have that gift certificate to a massage. And then I'll fall asleep and forget.
Your last massage?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so maybe
I don't need to get that emotional right now. By the way, this is so funny. So I watched Home Alone 1 and 2 a couple weeks ago with my buddy Dusty in Chicago. And then I rewatched it yesterday because I got some bad news about my mom. And I just said, you know what? Like I rewatched again to, like, you know, just give it a once over and take more notes. And then I go, I need Home Alone 2. And I just watched Home Alone 2 for the very first time a couple weeks ago. I never watched Home Alone 2. It's real. Oh my God, I think it's just as good as the first.
I've never seen it.
Wait, see that this shocks me because these are like the kind of simpleton movies I think you would love, like where it's a real like Marv and Harry are back, but this time this little doofus kid gets lost in New York because he misses the flight. But it's actually I don't know why I saw Home Alone in the movie theaters. I'm trying to remember why I didn't see Home Alone 2. Like, I liked Home Alone. Why did I see Home Alone 2?
Because you consciously knew that Donald Trump was in it.
There is one scene in Home Alone 2 where Donald Trump like goes into the plaza and Macaulay's like, you know, hey, where can I get a girl to shit on me? And he's like, right over there, kid, over in Epstein land, you know, like, no, he just tells like, go over to the left. But you know, a funny story about that is Donald Trump said, I will only let you shoot here if you put me in the movie and you cannot cut the scene. No, I'm not. That's no joke. No joke. But you got to watch Home Alone 2. It's on Disney Plus and it's just as good as Home Alone 1. And it actually made me. So the old man in this Home Alone movie makes me bawl. And the bird lady that looks like that British news anchor that hates Meghan Markle. Who's that dude that's always gives his opinions?
Piers Morgan?
Piers Morgan. There's a bird lady in Home Alone 2 where she's kind of scary in the wood, like in the Central Park, and all the birds come to her. She looks exactly like a female Piers Morgan in the face. And Piers Morgan. And so my buddy told me this a couple weeks ago, and I made a meme. And then people sent me this thing of like in 2020, Piers Morgan actually made a statement saying, I am not the bird lady in Home Alone 2. Like he actually, there's an article of him going, please stop saying that I'm the bird lady in Home Alone 2. You got to watch Annabelle. I'm telling you, but you would love this movie. Like, it's like so like good hearted and fun. Did you like Home Alone?
I really did. I hadn't seen it. I realized like I hadn't seen it probably like since I saw it like on VHS, like from Blockbuster.
And just to remind
like,
people,
I hadn't seen it in so long.
And this is just a question, like a personal question. You don't have to answer this, but you know, you always told us even from the beginning, we bring this up at some point every show.
Kennedy's penises. Yeah.
No. This is family. No. We're not doing sex stuff. But I will say, you're famous for making love watching the TV show. What is the dorm show, the college show? Greek. Yeah. She used to, with her boyfriend in college, who turned out to be a chef, she would only have sexual intercourse with him if she could disassociate and watch the TV show Greek. So I was like, have you ever made love during Home Alone? And I know this is a family show, so that's why I'm using the words like make love and things like that, because I'm not perverted.
Because he's doing it to it is it's like
is your shirt getting more wetter? Like, what's it?
I was gonna say I should put it on my vagina because then it would
Annabelle, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we can't say those kind of words.
It's the ML word is like
it's called pussy.
It is because he's doing that term.
The ML word is make love, you guys. And that's how it's not sex. You got to make like love. It's like
nails on a chalkboard to me. It is
not unless you lose lubrication. Like that's where that comes into play. Dame Products, folks, use my code so bad at checkout. But no, you've never like hooked up during Home Alone, have you?
No, I really was horny watching it today. But sadly, No,
Wait,
that's
wait,
another
wait,
word
wait,
of
which
hate. It's like corny.
which
It's like
wait,
when
wait,
it
wait.
starts
For
with
the older
word
man
for it.
character, not for the younger character. You were like Uncle Frank or something like that. You were turned on by the
Oh
older
no, I
character.
was talking about the Old Man Marley.
Yeah, Old Man Marley. That's what I meant. Old Man Marley. Yeah.
No, I was just like, let's get back to the star of the movie, Old Man Marley, which like as a kid, I remembered very few things about this movie besides like obviously everyone knows like the like Scream face, but
And also,
like
the
gross
title gives it away. He's home alone.
well, like that was I didn't really connect that part till I was like halfway into the movie, and I'm like, now I see like where the title comes in. Not after they said it 50 times. But when I guess when I was like young, like I thought he was like a homeless man or something, or like a person who was like forced to like shovel like the snow or whatever. I just remember there being like an old man like outside like in the snow that they didn't like. And then there was like a gross kitchen scene and a tarantula. And that's all I remember.
Wait. A gross kid. Are you talking about the gross kitchen scene where he attacks the burglars?
No, with the pizza and the milk. The milk seems fucking disgusting.
Oh yeah, Wait, are you talking about when he like orders a nice cheese pizza and he has a big glass of milk for himself, and then he has a macaroni?
That
dinner?
Is more disturbing to me than the tarantula scene. I'd rather have a fucking tarantula on me than drink milk and gin. But I'm not in a.
My parents, dude. My parents on the Patreon holiday special this weekend said they on their first date they both drank a glass of milk, and I was like, that is
fucking Mormons.
I was like, that is disgusting. I was like, you couldn't even, because my mom didn't drink back then. And that certainly stopped. And no, but they both drank milk. And I was like, that's disgusting. Like a dinner date, milk.
Oh,
and I was like, why didn't you drink a soda? And they were like, we don't know.
Oh, I know. If I went on a date with a guy and he ordered milk, I'd be like, okay, Mike Pence, I'm good. I'm going to peace out.
By the way, I'm like, that milk's disgusting as I bring up a 2-liter of Diet Coke to a goblet of Diet Coke. So that's disgusting. But as a kid, though, that's what when we were raised as.
Oh my God, now I really want it because like I'm behind on everything, including my Patreon. I still haven't watched like the last 3 episodes of like. So like I'm behind on everything.
Home Alone's not a TV show. What are you talking about?
I'm behind
3 episodes.
I'm behind on like
Greek?
Not only on your Patreon, but
I thought you meant TV shows.
Like, the last 3 episodes of like Salt Lake City, and I haven't gotten to see Miami. Like I'm behind on like everything.
What are you doing and watching? Is it all time with the horses and your job? Like what are we doing? And by the way, tell me your family's holiday traditions, because you were telling me what we do for Christmas, and Hanukkah's about to come up. We have Kwanzaa, we have Christmas. You guys celebrate Christmas, or what do you normally do during the holidays? This is not a joke question.
No, we celebrate Christmas. When you asked if I had a Santa hat I could put on, I wanted to be like, oh dear Ryan. No. We've always been allowed to celebrate Christmas. Like it's always been like celebrated in my house. But Nancy has a very particular, style of Christmas.
What's the style?
Where, we are, we don't have any Santas or like Rudolphs or like snowmen. It's all.
You mean in terms of decorations?
Yeah,
Do you have nutcrackers?
We have nutcrackers, yes.
Sure.
Oh my God. Okay, okay. I need to go downstairs and get my thing to show you.
No, I mean it's we'll take a break in like 30 minutes and you can we've got a long road to go. We've got a long road to go.
Okay. Yeah, so we're allowed nutcrackers, but we're not allowed like any wrapping paper with words on it.
Why?
Or is
she illiterate like R. Kelly? No, R. Kelly, he's famous for not being able to read and for peeing on people.
I mean, I was gonna say is Nancy a fantastic singer? Yes. Does she love peeing on children? Yes. But no, she does not have that in common with R. Kelly or Liam.
So wait, why no words on the wrapping paper? When did that become a thing?
He's very much into, and when I say this, I don't want you to think, dear listener, that I'm saying that you're not having an elegant Christmas. by having words. But she she's like, because that's how her family like raised her, like my grandma. So she it's a very kind of like elegant Christmas where we don't have any like reds or greens really.
Does she know you're upstairs in your bedroom in like all wet clothing and you're talking about an elegant Christmas? Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck? Like, are you out of your mind? Like an elegant Christmas? Does she even, are you allowed to walk around her until Christmas time? Like, do you just hide from her? An elegant Christmas? What, are you out of your mind? Elegant. The Annabelle literally could be doing like a Home Alone bit. Like, I've never really seen her parents on the show. Like, I've never, like, they don't wander in. It's always like a like this could be Home Alone. The parents, by the way, they could be like mummified in the basement, and it's like a psycho
It's
situation.
like
She's like, I know, Mom. No words on the wrapping paper. I got it, Mom. I'm elegant, just like you always wanted. By the way, this could be a Home Alone sequel, because you know that kid's gonna grow up where he gets attracted. Like, it's like a happier Dexter, where he only gets turned on by like getting burglars, taking burglars
he's
down.
like, I didn't realize he's like a Disney Channel version of like Jigsaw, because there was when I realized, like, he could go to the police at any time. He's like, no, I want to torture these men in very elaborate ways.
And by the way, as a kid, those are like really cool, but as an adult, you're like, this kid's a psycho, man. Like, the way his mind works. And in the second one, it gets even worse, where I'm like, these dudes, there's no way their backs would not be broken, because at any section, and thankfully this is like a funny comedy for the family, but I'm like, and normally one of these guys would have just died, would have just died on the spot. He would have impaled himself or something. And like, I just thank God for that character, that none of these even though they're criminals, they still shouldn't have died by the hands of a child. And any second, I was like, each time I was like, oh, their back had to have been broken. But they were and the criminals, they were so good spirited about getting hurt so badly by this kid in both movies. And that's what, just hats off to criminals out there who put up with a lot of shit around the holidays.
They had they took everything they had such a good sense of humor about it. Like, they were just very like casual and cool, and very like go with the, like, you can definitely tell that they either do like yoga.
They're fun.
They're like in the moment, and they're like, I'm not going to hold on to resentment. Like, we have to live in the now, and that already happened, and now I'm here, and I'm making the best of it.
That's why you need to watch the second movie, because they escape. No, a spoiler: they escape 9 months after they go back to prison at the end of Home Alone, and they're in New York, and they're like, fresh start. Hey, Marv, you smell that? And they're in a dead fish truck. He's like, fresh start, huh? And Marv's like, well, he goes, what does that smell like? He's like, dead fish, Harry. And he's like, no, it's a fresh start. And then Marv's like, and dead fish. No, it's a fresh start. And they're so good natured about their lot in life. But also, at no point do they ever, I was hoping in the sequel they would have tried to rehab them in prison. Like, that would have been a fun story to see what their prison life was like, and if they had tried to better themselves at all. Or
if like they had sent them to one of are they the prisons like in China, which are the prisons like where the inmates like learn the Thriller dance, and like they all do like really big.
Oh yeah, she's not joking. There are I think it gosh, I'm gonna get this wrong, and I don't want to offend anybody. I think maybe Taiwan maybe, but they learned, the whole prison learned the Thriller dance, and it went viral like 12 years ago or something.
It looked so much fun.
Oh, it was literally like, let me kill somebody right now, because that's what I said. I had somebody that went to prison.
Listen, you get a hot and a cot, and you learn to dance. I'm sorry. If I could have my Drago or Dragon or however
I say
however
this,
you pronounce it.
I had a girl on the show last week that had went to prison to Danbury for 2 years, and she said, listen, it's tough, but I had a guest on that went to Danbury prison, where Jen Shaw's probably going to go last week on the show, and I'm still thinking about it, because she gave all she told what it was like. She's like, yeah, we had parties, we had birthday parties, we had decorations. She's like, we would have homemade makeup, you could lay out, but you'd be laying around goose poop. It was kind of fascinating prison life. And but here's the drawback. Cause I was like, do you have a TV in your cell? She's like, no, there's one TV for the cell unit. And that's where I was out. Cause you all have to agree on what to watch. And I'm just not that kind of person that would fight for what I want to watch. So I would end up probably watching something stupid I don't want to watch. But this is where prison could get me. If they could make it, if they could make it, this is prison. If you're listening, if you want old Ryan Bailey in there, this is what we got to get. I don't need a big TV, but a TV and internet access. That's it. That's all I need. I'll take care of the rest. Like I'll put the books on my iPad and stuff, but like, think about that.
Okay, we're all really impressed that you like read books, Ryan. Okay, we got
I'm already stressed out about the cell visits. Like, do I like, cause sometimes like maybe I'm in here and I don't want to see anybody. Maybe I just want to like Howard Hughes it in here, Anyways, back to the elegant. This is so elegant holiday parts, a holiday paper.
Can I ask you real quick? I like that just when you're like, I probably end up watching something stupid. Considering the stuff that you do watch, what do you consider a stupid show? Like, what?
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. Stuff and no offense to you guys out there, you seem to really enjoy it, but stuff like NCIS.
Listen, if they're already having disgusting Christmases that have red and green and Santas and snowman and Rudolph, listen, they're fine. They're already
like NCIS is painful for me. Like I've watched like those around families before, like NCIS, any kind of like I love teen shows, but like NCIS, CSI. Here, and I will admit something right now.
Teen shows or a teen?
No, I like the OC was great. Beverly Hills 90210.
You love teen.
I love. Hey, that's a pull quote here, you guys.
You're a teen buffer.
If you're trying to pull audio to get me in trouble, I love teens. But what I'm saying is like those procedural shows, guys. I've never seen an episode of Law and Order, and I hear it's amazing, but they have like 80 seasons of it. But like those serialized shows, like I like it on HBO. Like, do you get cable in prison? That's the other question I forgot to ask. Like, do you get HBO Max? Is there streaming? Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's the thing that would frustrate me most about being in prison, besides the whole freedom thing, is just the lack of being able to watch what I want to watch.
Yeah. It would be the not having pets for me part. Like, that would be it.
No, she said you're allowed to have 2 pets in there. Yeah, horses, pigs, anything. Yeah. No, God, no.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I'm listening.
Yeah. Tell me more, prison. Yeah, wait a sec. Yeah. No, but you're allowed to have a car. It's allowed parked right outside your cell unit.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I literally lived probably like many years where it's like people would be like, oh, you're like really good about your house arrest. Like your parole officer must be thrilled. Like they never have to go looking for you. Like you stick like very close to like protocol and like, oh no, I'm under voluntary house arrest because that's what manic depression does.
Yeah, by the way, you've been in house arrest for a while now. By the way, I do enjoy a good house arrest. Like I that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes like a life of like we're obviously teasing, but also there is things attractive about just not going out at all. Like there is like, by the way,
just some things attractive about it?
I have a friend that was inviting me to go do things and I'm just like, I don't want to leave at all. Like I want to not leave ever. Okay, wait. So back to the wrapping paper. Why is it not elegant to have words on the wrapping paper?
Why is it not elegant? And Nancy is the thing, like she's absolutely insane. So it's like clearly it's like one of these things is not like the other. We're not like anyone else. So it's not like everyone else is wrong. We're the right classy ones. It's like, listen, there are words and Santa's all over fucking the Kris Jenner's like Christmas party.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're not the ones who are like, oh, how fancy we are with like our pinky up.
Yeah.
Having like Christmas in the Hamptons. No, I'm disgusting. Clearly I'm in a wet shirt and just finally put sheets on my bed.
By the way, we've been going for like 40 minutes, has not dried yet at all. It's still the same amount.
I'm still very much.
It's still very wet. Yeah.
But can you tell, do I sound more confident? It is my power color. Do you see I'm really doing well?
It is very powerful so far. Wait, so if I sent Nancy, I kind of want to send your mom a gift with wrapping paper of all words. Like just like the most words ever.
My friend.
Would she be like, oh my God, trash. This is such a trashy man.
My friend in college one time, she brought over a gift for my family because she was like over there, like she was like over all the time. And so first Christmas.
Wait. Let's explore that a little more. Why was she over all the time? Is there, what's the relationship there?
It was, like when you have like a friend who's who's inside of you, and then
okay, so
okay. Everyone has that friend, or maybe you are that.
Yes,
friend.
no, I know you're
about to be that friend very soon. Around here, where they have like not a great like relationship, like with their home or like their like.
I know. Actually, I totally know. Like we were the home for a lot of those friends.
So like we were that house.
Yeah.
So like she brought over a gift for my parents, and she wrapped it as a normal person would in regular Christmas wrapping paper. And Nancy was like, "Oh, this was so thoughtful of you. Thank you." And then after she left, she's like, "Put this behind the tree." Like she was like not letting it be in the like thing. She's like, "You have to hide this, hide it."
Do not let your dad see the words. Don't let your dad see the words on this wrapping paper.
Doesn't give a fuck. Literally, it could be on, like the present could be on fire, and he's like, as long as the cats don't get by it, like he'd be fine. He doesn't give a shit. Like he does not care. Nancy is very committed to a theme, into a like, just
what's the theme? Is it like sadness? What is the theme?
That's I don't know if like if a theme is lifelong, is it really a theme, or is that just like your life? I don't know.
The way it is. It's the way it goes.
Sounds like particular of like, oh, the theme is this. If it's just your entire being.
Dude, my mom got so pissed at like I don't know if I said because when I was Thanksgiving, I said on the podcast, I said and my parents were on, and I said it looks like Thanksgiving threw up all over this house. And to me, that meant like there was just a lot of Thanksgiving decorations. And I meant it as a compliment. My mom has brought it up 10 times since of like, you better not say anything about our house looking like Christmas threw up all over it. I go, Mom, that's like I mean, I know what she means, but I meant it as a like, it's so, to me, that's just how I speak. It's like so festive. Everything like she has Santa placemats. She has nutcrackers everywhere. And it's a small house, but it looks beautiful. But there's a way she likes it. And by the way, there's no pressure, but my mom said, she's like, we're going to have the best Christmas this year ever. And it came off very threatening. And like, cause there's like there's medical issues involved. So now there's all of like this added pressure of like, we got to make this the best Christmas ever,
or it will be Krampus. Yeah. There is no other. It is one or the other, baby boy.
I'm sitting there going like, do I have to be like, yeah, like the whole like once the 20th hits, am I like, woo, fun? Like, am I just like, am I doing a Lisa Rinna over performance act this entire holiday to show how much fucking fun I'm having? Like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation of like I want to be singing zippity doo dah when he's like freaking out and he's drinking the eggnog. He's like, it's good.
I've never seen Christmas Vacation. I've never seen Christmas Vacation. I've never seen a Christmas. Is it the Christmas Story? What's the one with like
Christmas Story with you'll shoot your eye out?
Yeah, and there's like a Viva Drescher leg lamp, and like he's stuck to a pole or something.
Right.
Yeah,
dude, what the fuck, Annabelle? Like, there's a chance you could be in prison already. What the fuck? Like, honestly, these aren't hard movies. These aren't like, you would love these movies. Christmas Vacation is a classic.
These aren't hard movies. They're not like the Ernest movies. These are actually easy to understand. Yeah. You'd be able to get this.
Remember when you tried to watch Thor and you enjoyed it? Come on. You can do this.
That is one of the best movies I've seen in the past.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because it's one of the only movies you've seen in the last 5 years. If you would open up your mind a little bit, you could be watching these easy to understand movies and love having the time of your life. Like, you could literally be having the time of your life watching these movies. Have you watched The Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
No. I've seen parts of it. Like I've seen him at the doctor.
Parts of it. Oh, because you would get so turned on. You would make love. You would start the movie and then make love to somebody during the movie. So you would miss out on huge chunks of it. Is that what you're saying? Wait, how do you watch parts of the Santa Claus?
I just seen like the part of like, I don't know. It's just like parts that everyone has seen of things.
Wait, you guys know when they do that TV show where they just show you
Where
parts
they
of
show things,
Hey, here's a part of his Santa Claus. Yeah, enjoy.
I've never seen the movie Seven, but I know that what's in the box, like that part, like
By the way, Annabelle just made the end of Seven sound so fun. What's in the box? Come on, buddy. What's in that box?
Is it a gift? Is it Gwyneth Paltrow's head? It's a laugh riot, you guys.
You just gave away fucking Seven. You just spoiled it, dude.
Oh, I mean, I know it's a new release. I should have at least.
By the way, to Annabelle, everything's a new release. Like there's not an old. There's no classic movies for Annabelle because she's seen nothing except for the movies we've done on the show. So she's like, "Did you guys know about this Avatar? The technology's amazing. They're all these blue little big people. Wait, have you seen Avatar?
I'm like friend. No.
Have you seen? No.
No. And that's on that's in a vendetta basis. Like that's on
what's a movie that you're like, I'm going to go see that, and you went and saw it? Like, has there been any? Do you go to movie theaters at all anymore?
I don't know. I don't remember the last. No, the last movie I think I saw in theaters was Get Out.
Did you understand it? No. She's like, nope, it sure didn't.
I'm like, you know what?
That's pre-pandemic.
Yeah, you're right. That's accurate.
That's the last time you visited a movie theater.
I'm like, I'm trying to think of like, I can't remember another movie theater going experience after Get Out.
Do your horses ever be like, I don't think this is working out, Annabelle? Like, we've had a lot of fun.
They had free will, like just like my cats. And I'm like, I'm sure that they're like, listen, she saved us from the gas chamber. We'd prefer to go back. She believes in freedom of choice. Like, this is worse for us.
My theory is Annabelle is living literally the Britney. I have like, it's like this. This is my theory. There's like a Britney Spears Instagram vibe about Annabelle, where she might not even be in Aiken, Georgia. There might not even be a horse. Like, I'm going to go back and look at these Instagram pictures later and see what level of Photoshop is in these. There might not even be horses, you guys. She's still in Los Angeles. There's like not even, she's like literally she's in LA and has been forever. I'm saying now it's starting to add up. And I also have a feeling.
Well, once Ryan had been into my apartment so many times, I'm like, oh, I can't say I live here anymore.
By the way, she used to have a crystal farm on her balcony, you guys, where it was like every cool crystal like that like had magical powers or something was out there. And the first time I met Annabelle and over podcast, like it was like the first 3-hour podcast I did with Annabelle for her show. And it was like, she didn't feed me anything. There was no snacks. She goes, hey, do you want something to drink? She goes, I've just started drinking recently. And she poured me like, this is like, just straight vodka with a somewhat. She goes, oh, there's some cranberry, I guess, and there was not no. She didn't even put ice in it, and I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, oh okay, cool. And then I was like, and I was so intimidated to be in Annabelle's presence, and then I was like, wait, what's going on here? And then like in the, I look,
can't explain to you the level of disappointment of Ryan's face when he came over. Because like I didn't have a snack on, and he was like,
snack tray. There's not a
hey. Well, the level of disappointment of like Ryan's confusion of my appearance and then just the lack of appearance of food was very much like.
Listen, I'm a big guy. I remember going out there and like, I swear to, I shit you not, I went to the 7-Eleven that's close to where Annabelle used to live, and I think I got like oh, this is so sad, like a 7-Eleven sandwich or something. Like it was like so gross. Okay,
well, that's because I was on my food program, which God, I fucking wish I had here because
just vodka?
I'm a binge eater. And so like, even if I have like healthy food, like even if like, go get healthy food. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter if I spend fucking $150 on healthy food because I'm going to go home and eat $150.
Dude, yes.
All same day.
I stress it. Oh, dude, I woke up in the middle of the night the other night and stress ate a whole thing of spaghetti. You guys don't get it. Like sometimes I'll be so stressed out, and I haven't done this in a long time. It really scared me, where I was like, I woke up and I was like, gotta go eat that spaghetti. And like, didn't even like, my mind didn't even think anything other than eat that sketty. And then I was just in the fridge, just shoveling it in my mouth. And then I was like, okay, I ate the sketty. And then I went back to sleep there. And then in the next morning, you're back to, you're like, what the fuck happened last night? Like, you're
because
like, holy I wasn't even drunk. Like,
you have eaten that stuff and it's like, you didn't even get to enjoy it. You now have all the calories.
Yes.
But you don't even have like the memory of it. It's like,
yes.
Like, I don't know, like if you black out, like sleeping, like with, like, I don't know who you like, I was going to say, I'm like, consider Kim Kardashian one of like the like sexiest, like most beautiful people in the world. And so it's like, so I don't know who, like, I guess like it's like if you slept with Lisa Rinna and then the next day you got to have it, but you had like no memory of it, to be able to sleep with like one of the most beautiful, talented women in the world. But it's like, you got to have that experience, but it's like, you don't even remember it. It's like, you had all of that and you like,
yes.
don't even get
to like it would be, it's so much better to enjoy spaghetti when you're cognizant. Like, but then that's not the way my body, like for some reason,
like I'm a huge sleep eater. Like when when Chloe and Lamar were together and Lamar's like, I sleep eat candy. And then that's when like Kim was like, I can smell he has a cavity. And I'm like, why didn't we go back to this habit?
Dude, oh my God. So at my parents' house, and it's the worst because my parents' house, you guys, my dad keeps there's like an outside fridge where they keep like water, like cold water and like extra like meat in the freezer and stuff. And, you know, they'll have like soda for me or Connor or Addison, my niece and nephew. But the bottom drawer of the fridge is all bags of Halloween candy that my dad's like, and so the kids get to grab a couple. But like when I'm there, like late at night though, I'll go like, cause the main fridge, like how it works now is that my mom sleeps in this. I told you guys this. My mom sleeps in the chair in the main room because of her surgery. And my dad sleeps out on the couch in the living room. And it's a very small place. The couch in the living room, though, the kitchen is right there. It's an open floor plan. So I can't go to the fridge because my dad's on the couch. So I'll go to the outside fridge where the candy is. And I'm not even a big candy guy, but I'm a big abuse my body with food guy. And so I'll grab just handfuls of candy. And then the next morning, I'll just wake up with like fucking peanut butter wrappers around me. And then it'll be like, it's like a murder scene where I'm like, I gotta fucking hide the evidence. I gotta fucking hide the evidence.
I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah. No, it's like, you're like, it's like waking up and it's just like chocolate over my head. Like, oh, not again. And I don't even like chocolate. I don't even like it. By the way, the reason we're saying this is Home Alone. Macaulay does battle ED, so this is why this does fit into the movie.
It's really sad. He battles like not only erectile dysfunction, but also he eats pretty badly.
Yeah, and he does. That's a lesson of Home Alone. He starts eating better during it when he realizes that he's wished his parents have been gone for, like he wished his parents to go away. And he thinks in that little dumb kid mind of his that he wished the parents away, when in reality, the parents just are ignorant and like really shouldn't have as many kids as they do. I mean, this is a huge wake up call for people like Octomom, John and Kate +8, all of those things, because these kids, like if you can't make sure all your kids are on the plane, maybe you should have less kids.
Fucking wrap it up. Like, just, I don't know, do like 5 kids. That's disgusting.
That's a lot.
That's excessive.
But then you have Uncle Frank and the aunt's kids, which, by the way, one of them is Kieran Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother, who grew up to be the amazing actor Kieran Culkin from Succession and all those great movies. But he's so cute in this, and he wets the bed in this movie a lot. And as a fellow bedwetter, I was like, I see you. Like, finally, like, I literally
was watching this, and I was like, I'm going to ask Ryan if he was a bedwetter, because
I told you this. I told you this. I've told you. I thought we've had long conversations about bedwetting.
But I mean, like, yes, but I know you did, but like, I'm talking about, did you wet the bed as like also a child? Like,
yeah, no, I did. In fact, I did. And I think I had my mom, I remember this. They tried to help me battle my, the 2 stories about my bedwetting was that they got me this machine. They got themselves this machine from Sears where it was like a piece of like plastic that you put under the sheets. And once a drop of wetness hit that sheet, an alarm would go, bah, 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 bah.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. I'm in fact, well, yeah, I'm 1,000% serious. And they would put it up on this folding chair in the corner of my room, the box, I remember.
Like a security alarm? Like
so it's supposed to wake the kid up when it starts bedwetting. So it's like, oh shit, because it's all about training your body to like not, I don't know what. Anyways, so that was one thing. And then when I got invited to my first slumber party, this is my Macaulay Culkin Home Alone story. This is how kids think. This is how Macaulay Culkin thinks. I was like, I really want to go to the slumber party, but I do have a bedwetting issue. How do I fix this? And I was like trying to think of like ways, because I was like, I could stay up all night, but I've never done that before. I don't think I'll do it. Like, I don't think I'll be able to stay up all night. So then I was like, just in case, this is what I'm going to do. And I took my dad's I took a roll of Scotch tape and I taped the hole of my penis, the urethra, and I taped the hole up. So I was like, no way pee can get out of this if I've wrapped it up in Scotch tape. Like, I was like, there's just no way. And so then I was like, okay, I can fall asleep now. And of course I wet the bed, and you guess what? The Scotch tape comes right off. Like, it did not do it. It did not stop a damn thing. I thought it was like, what an idiot little kid like Macaulay Culkin I was. And I was like, oh yeah, then the water will just back up until I wake up in the morning and take the Scotch tape off, and then the pee will come out.
There are a million questions I now have about this. I would say probably the first and biggest one is, have you left that as an Amazon review for Scotch tape? Because I think that is very important.
That's a genius idea. May I speak to the people at Scotch tape? There's an 8-year-old boy that's an Amazon question. There's an 8-year-old boy that's never this tape. Is it strong enough to tape up a urethra? Oh, wait, there's one other one too. When I was in Cub Scouts going into Boy Scouts, maybe it was
taped your penis, Ryan.
No, this wasn't a taping. Like, so it was a 7-day camp, and I was fucking like, this is the tail end of the bedwetting, but I was like, fuck. And the first 6 nights, no bedwetting. And I was like, I'm home free. 7th night, I wake up, fucking wet the cot. And it was a cot. So you're like, cot, sleeping bag, you're in there with somebody else. I'm in there with my neighbor, Patrick Mulcahy, and he gets up, and I realize I wet. And then I get up and I'm like, okay, maybe it just got into the sleeping bag, but it soaked through the sleeping bag. And the cot was like this dark green, kind of like your power color. And that's why it triggers me so much. I've literally pissed myself 3 times since we've been podcasting. And so there was a big wet spot. And so in my brilliant head, I go, okay, I can fix this. And I went and got my canteen, and I kept filling it with water, and I got the whole cot wet, so it would match the color. It would match the color of the cot. Those are all like deadly. That's what I feel like. I've lived my life in so much shame. Like, and there's just so much like, and now, as you get older, you guys, I don't know if this is for women as well, but like now it's like you wake up and you're like, I gotta pee so bad, but I don't want to get up and go to, and you just hope you can fall back asleep immediately, without having to get up and like ruin that sleep pattern. But It's like, now as you get older, it's like, and I hear this happens when you get older, it's like, you always have to pee at night. Like, you always have to, and it's like, so you just hope that you can get REM enough sleep where when you wake up, you can feel that you have to pee and then go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Or if you are, lucky enough and confident enough, if you do like a live stream or an OnlyFans, and it's like, there is definitely like a group who wants to see that. Like, and then
I've never peed on a girl.
I mean, it's just like, it's so sad that you live like such like a sheltered, judgmental, non-elegant Christmas life.
I'm not kink shaming.
That's how you can tell you're not a classy Christmas person, is that you haven't peed on.
My one Christmas wish this year is that I get better with people when they request me to pee on them. No, I've never done. I know I have friends, girls and guys.
What Patreon level is that going to be?
There's $1,000 level, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Nancy and I are both separate Patreon members.
Well, yeah, by the way, there is a jar of warm piss coming Nancy's way with the writing on the wrapping paper. Well, no, back to your holiday though. What is your Christmas tradition, like Christmas Eve tradition? What do you do? Like, and do you guys get each other gifts? Like, how does it, do you wake up in the morning and go like, Santa's here?
Yeah, like, no, we do like gifts and everything.
What did you ask for this year?
Nothing.
You still make a Christmas list?
No.
You don't? Do you already know what you got? You probably do.
No, I didn't ask.
Nancy's like, I guess I'll get you this.
No, I didn't ask for, like, I didn't ask for anything because, like, if I was in LA right now, it would be like I would ask for like I know, like a dumb like purse or something. I know, but there's nothing like I really like. I don't know. No,
you don't say you asked for like peace in the world or something like that. What are you?
No, I asked for the opposite, and so far that wish is coming true. So,
well, no, I mean, what did you get for your parents?
The gift of my presents, which
you didn't get them anything, did you? You didn't get them anything.
They don't. RJ doesn't like. The thing is, it's like most dad gifts or whatever. Like what? Like RJ doesn't golf. RJ doesn't drink beer. RJ doesn't watch sports. Like I've never.
RJ collects cars. You could get him something for the car.
Like, but he doesn't like RJ doesn't like any like clutter or like.
You better get that man something. If you don't get him a Christmas gift, I will be very upset at you.
He like everything we've ever gotten him through my entire life. I could go into his closet, rewrap it, and give it to him. He would have no idea because he keeps.
Well, then do that. Make sure he knows he's loved. Make sure he knows he's
like toy train collectors where everything we've ever given him is still like in the package. He's like, well, I don't want to take it out and ruin it. I'm like, but it's not like you're not like going to like Comic-Con resell it. Like it's like he's just anything he like keeps in the box. Like RJ doesn't wear like t-shirts. Like RJ isn't like a regular person. Like RJ's not like a regular dad.
This is exactly what RJ isn't even real, you guys. RJ doesn't even exist. RJ's been dead for a long time, you guys. You got me to admit it. You got me to admit it. They're like, knock, knock. Annabelle, time for your 3 p.m. pills. Annabelle, open up.
That's why I barricade myself here. If I don't.
By the way, usually I used to see cats like roaming around in the background. I haven't seen one cat this session. I'm like worried that I'm so worried that everybody's gone. Like this is truly a home alone. I believe you are by yourself. Your parents are in Paris. So you don't have any Christmas traditions?
No, I mean, like, yeah, there's nothing like that we do every
Like, does your mom make something like, Christmas morning? Because my mom makes this bubble bread, this monkey bread that's like really good.
Oh, I love monkey bread. No, like I guess she like puts out like a.
She puts out that's
like disgusting. A brunch, So it's just kind of like a grazing.
Do you ever know when you're like talking to a criminal and you're like asking specifics and they don't know? They're like, she puts out and you're like, you should know the answer to this. And you're like, she does the normal thing.
She does all of the things. No, I know it sounds really crazy. No, we don't really do. There's not like a Also, we don't have families, so it's not like.
Also, I feel like Nancy and RJ are probably in a basement hearing this right now, going like, "Please, just scream louder, RJ. Maybe Ryan will hear you, so he can make a call to the Aiken police. Like, scream louder, RJ."
It would be different, like watching this, and like I know you have siblings or whatever. Like, it's just the three of us. Like, I'm an only child. My parents don't talk to any of their family. So it's just like been the three of us, like every single holiday, and like the animals. So it's like, we don't really have like a tradition.
I mean, like the last couple of years, it's been my mom, dad, and me, because my sister has her, then we go over later in the day, but we still do that, wake up and open the couple gifts. But it's always because my dad, he's gotten better the last couple of years, but my dad would wait like till the week of to get my mom. And my mom does Christmas, like she'll start getting things in like July for people, and so my mom will always like hit it on the head, but my dad would like wait till the last minute, go to the mall, get a bunch of shit that like I even knew my mom wouldn't like. He'd go into like wet seal of like, I saw a teenager wear this, like, here you go. And the thing is, normally like a normal person would be like, oh, thank you so much, and then later ask for the receipt. My mom in the moment, and when it's just the three of us, it's like so awkward because she'll be like, oh, Bill, I don't like this at all. I'm gonna take it. And she'll be like, and they'll be like, oh, I mean, geez, I tried. I thought it reminded me of you. And I was like, why did you think pink jeans reminded me of your mom? Like, it always would be something. I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? And when I was married, he would make my ex like the night before. He'd be like, wrap these. My ex would wrap all his gifts. And then sometimes he would get one right randomly where he would shock all of us, including my mom. She'd be like, I could probably use this. And he'd be like, oh yeah. Cause I thought, yeah, because yeah, you've worn tops before. And yeah, like he would get one right. She always loved like a bottle of Elizabeth Taylor's Diamonds perfume. I remember that growing up. It was always, is that a perfume?
Okay, so he can go to like Walgreens and get like that like gift set.
Yeah, like that's still, but she always loved Elizabeth Taylor Diamond perfume. Like that was her perfume. So
like Nancy doesn't wear jewelry. Like, so it's like, it's just like my parents aren't like normal. So like, and you have like the normal gifts. Like last year, like I pride myself on, the thing is I'm an excellent gift giver. I'm a fucking excellent gift giver. And
yeah, you just literally told me how you do not know what to get your parents at all. I am literally the best. The people that had me have zero clue what to give her, but I'm the best. The best gift giver, not horrible daughter. Best gift giver, though.
I've flown too close to the sun. I've given the best gifts where it's just like, they don't have any new hobbies. They ain't got nothing going on.
Have you considered Masterclass, the gift of learning?
No, because Nancy still has to have me fucking like, when she's like, I logged out of my Instagram. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, just, you're on my Finsta. Just, you clicked the wrong picture.
Wait,
do you Finsta.
Yeah, I'm on Shaw Exposed. Do you and Nancy share a phone? Do you share an Instagram account? Does she do your Instagram posting?
Yes, we do share a jitterbug. Like we share it, like, she doesn't.
By the way, a jitterbug is a cell phone, like it's a prepaid, I believe, cell phone that like
it's like a cricket. It's like a bird.
Older people get because they're scared of like the big companies, and
like the buttons are gigantic so that they can see.
Yeah. By the way, my grandma's 98, and like at a certain point, my dad was like, "Well, there's just no more phones that we can even get you at this point." I mean, like there's. We can't get bigger numbers.
She can't like do technology. RJ got her an Apple Watch like when it first came out, and I was like, oh no. And I just sat back and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Cause it's just like watching somebody fucking like take a match and throw it on fucking gasoline. Because it's like when I see it, I'm like, oh no. Because as soon as Nancy unwraps it, and the thing is, RJ is like you have to react like a fucking like Price is Right contestant for RJ. Like when he gets you a gift or something, like if you do not have because he is so excited. And like, I don't mean that in a mean way, because he is genuinely so like everything he gets, he is so excited to give you because he thinks it's great. And it's a real, I would say there's more hits than there are misses, but in the times there are misses, he misses really terribly. So when she unwrapped this Apple Watch, I was like, oh no. And I like sat back and I was like, oh, I'm about to watch the fight. Cause like I see her face where she's like, I won't know how to do this. I won't know how to use this. And you just love to see me look stupid because I can't do technology.
Dude, wait, you're not going to believe this. But my dad got my mom an Apple Watch last Christmas, and he literally and he asked me, he goes, you think your mom would want, because my dad likes his Apple Watch, and he goes, you think your mom would like one of these Apple Watches? And I go, no, Dad, I don't think she would. And he goes, great, I got one for her this year. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I knew it's exact same thing. She opens it and she goes, I won't use this. I won't. She and imagine how awkward it's the three of us in that moment where she, as the normal person, would go, oh wow, I didn't even expect this, and then later on say, "Can I have the gift?"
You in private, like, Ryan,
but she goes, I won't use this. This is like, you guys like this. I don't like this. I don't. And but by the way, there is a happy ending. She does love her Apple Watch. She loves it. She loves her Apple Watch now, but she was so in that moment defiant. And I knew exactly the conversation that would go down. And he's like, well, gee, I mean, you can't even try it. And then, cause I know then it's my responsibility to teach my mom how to use an Apple Watch. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, I get that that our parents like taught us how to like say words and use the bathroom. And granted, in Ryan's case, they taught him later how to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like
with machines.
On a different time, on a different timeline than the rest of us. But still, they eventually taught him. And it's like, I get that all of our parents were very patient. But it's like, when it comes to the phone, it's just like, to me, it feels like I'm fucking like Annie Sullivan trying to teach fucking Helen Keller, like Nancy. And I'm like, I can't do this. And I almost Campbell and throw the phone at her, where I'm just like, I can't show you how to like open your AOL email app. Like it's just sad because we're going to be the same way one day. And I'm like, who the fuck's going to teach me how to use these things? Like, cause my mom, like, there's always like 5 technology things anytime I'm there of like, okay, to teach me how to Netflix on this TV, and teach me how to do this on this TV, and teach me on my iPad, because my mom has the big iPad so she can see it. And, like, she's like, I'm getting a ding every time I get an email. I don't want that ding. So I have to go to settings and go, Mom, this is where you turn all sounds off. I go, oh, okay. But then they never retain the information. No. And you start to feel like you're like, this is what it's like. This is what, when I was a kid and I was failing math, it was like, you can't retain the information, right? And I'm like, you can't retain the fucking information now. Like, it's like, I mean, at least here it's like easier, because it's like, because I mean, if you watch like this video,
once I killed them, it's been more easy.
And when I would like FaceTime, because like I talk to my parents, like, yes, obviously we're very unhealthy, because like I would talk to my parents, like one of my friends was like, wait, you talked to your like dad, like this is your second time you talked to your dad today? And I was like, yeah, I talked to him at least like twice. Like I talked to my parents at least like twice a day on the phone. And I was like, and they looked at me and I was like, why, how many times do you talk? Like, how many times a day do you talk to your dad? And she's like, I talk to my dad on the phone maybe once a month. And I'm like, what? That's so crazy. And she's like, no, you're the crazy one.
Wait, once a month is a little crazy.
And so like
once a month is way too little, I think, unless they've done something to you bad.
But like FaceTiming, if you're watching this on like YouTube video, like literally most FaceTime with Nancy was like, Chike, okay, so I'm talking to you.
Or it's the under the chin where she's like, oh, it's FaceTime, and you just see the big chin.
Where? I can't. Where are you? I can't see you. Honey, now I can't see her. I don't know where she went. I don't know where the camera went. Or then I see like this, and I'm like, Nancy, I'm talking. We're on FaceTime. I don't need to. You're holding it up to your ear, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm talking to your ear canal, and we're on FaceTime." She's like, "I don't know how to work this, but we're just gonna text." Also, I'm a few people. Nancy will call like she's on a prison laying prevent, and she's like, "Hey, what do you want?" Like we would literally, I normally get like under 2 minutes on the phone with Nancy, where I'd have to be like, okay. So anyway, so I'm like going to like, so I'm going to the vet with Weezy, and she's like, okay, all right. Well, I'm on red battery, so we got to go. Bye.
By the way, this movie Home Alone, actually, if they had technology like that we have now, none of this would have taken place. You would have been able to FaceTime this Kevin McAllister on a cell phone because the power lines go down overnight, and that's why they're late for the plane in the first place, which we'll get to. I guess we should start moving into the actual movie now, since we did just a quick hour and a half catch up.
You don't want me to have more like out loud therapy?
Oh, I feel like we'll be doing that within the confines of the movie. So I wanted to really quickly, and this part isn't a joke. I just want to, and Annabelle, this will be kind of funny because, oh my God, Ronald Richards is calling me on the other end. Hey, can we take a break for a second? Okay, we're back. And don't move like that when you do it. It gets scarier. Oh, what does that remind me of? What is that? The thing? What is that from? Well, by the way, this is Annabelle DeSisto Under the Mask. If you're watching this on YouTube, Annabelle has put on a very scary, I think it's a nutcracker mask or a very scary French man with like
it's a nutcracker mask.
Okay. Well, I asked, finally, somebody's gotten into the holiday spirit. Did you have to go into the basement where you buried your parents and go get oh, don't rub your boobs. Don't rub your boobs. Take it off, please. Oh, take
the wet sweater or the mask?
Oh, no, the mask.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a legitimate question. That could.
Oh God, put it back on! Oh my God, put it back on! No. That's the kind of visual shit YouTube eats up, you guys. That's why even if you're listening to it, you need to go back and watch that on YouTube, because you cannot. When you see this mask, it's gonna blow you, it's gonna knock you off your coal mining ass. Okay, right when we left, I wanted to do
cry with your tape penis.
Tape urethra. By the way, right currently, just to make myself feel like a kid again, I've taped up my urethra for the third and fourth hour of this podcast.
Will you please submit that truly to Amazon? Do you think they would let it post?
Well, I don't want it to affect my Amazon Prime membership. I don't want to get kicked off of Amazon Prime.
Well, like, why can't you just like leave a
review?
I
could leave a review of just like, this is great Scotch tape. Let me tell you why I've hated Scotch tape all my life, though, if I could. And like be like, or would that get me flagged on
leave a review for like duct tape. And you're like, this is the tape.
Is this the tape Casey Anthony used? No, okay. So, by the way,
it can smother a child. It can smother a penis. It can. There's nothing. It can hold a bumper on a car. It truly is an incredible. Thing.
There's always.
Sorry, that's inappropriate. That's too.
It is inappropriate.
That's too soon. With the bumper cars. That's not appropriate. Yeah. It's not appropriate, Ryan.
We're not appropriate. And the thing is, though, this Home Alone, it's a cute holiday film on its face. No, I'm saying this movie not only could these burglars, I feel, died, but this kid, there were so many chances that he could have just died. Like this is why
tape on your penis, and you're like, so tape on your penis, Casey. So this is such a cute kids movie.
By the way, let's not talk about me suffocating my own penis.
Let's not. So you want to pull a Kim Richards? Let's not talk what you don't. Okay. Let's not talk about.
Usually, we need a safe word when I need you to stop. Like I'll be like, what's the safe word? Like Loki.
No, don't use my.
Okay. Greek. Okay. Oh my God! You make love. No, okay. What I'm saying is that. I'm scared they're gonna do a gritty remake of Home Alone once and make it like the reality of this situation. Where like I just feel like this is so I have a lot of families that not listen together, but I have a lot of the listeners with kids, and this I feel like a lot of kids like look up to this of like, oh, I want to be left home alone, but let's encourage them not to be left alone. You know, like I think bad things happen. I think it's a bad message overall.
And I know
it worked out for Kevin. It worked out for Kevin, but it won't work out for your kid.
You as I know that as a brand, So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey,
Yeah.
stands up very strongly against negative and bad messages. Like that's something that you are.
By the way, that's the only thing I'm against. That's my main purpose
is any bad thing. But I do feel like they've already made the grittier version of this, and it's. I know I'm not a huge film buff like you are. But I believe,
you've seen 5 films.
I believe it's called The Purge, and it's already been made. So.
By the way, it is funny. Do you notice how Annabelle's seen mainly horror films? Like that's like she's like, I just feel comfortable with them. I feel good when I watch a horror film.
I just think they're funny. I relate to the characters the most.
Oh my God. Could you imagine though, if Home Alone did Home Alone The Purge and he gets left on the night of the purge? He gets left, like Kevin McAllister has to fight everybody. Because it's on the, if you guys aren't familiar with the Purge franchise, there's one day a year where it's legal to kill people. And
which I think is a great idea. Truly, it's not a bad idea.
Well, Ron DeSantis is running with that idea actually for the new. No,
but it's like the thing is, I'd be the subject. I'd be like everyone's Santa Claus. Not only would Nancy not like pictures of me in her home, but like I would be that person for so many people. I'd be like that person where they're like, that day is all about her. It's her day.
And by the way, I would never survive like even the first purge. I would not have multiple purges. I would die immediately.
You purge yourself. You wouldn't be able to handle it. You're like, I don't know.
Hey,
safe rooms scare me. I don't like masks. Oh my God, but actually, guess who?
Oh no. She's putting on this is gone. Okay. Greek. Make love. Take it off. Okay. So this movie is really good. Let me tell you a little bit about this movie. And Annabelle, you like do your nails or something because you're not going to understand any about what I'm about to say. No, you're just not. And it makes me so sad, but I'm going to take you to film school right now. This movie,
the fact that you call it the fact when you say films is such like I know.
Okay, well, I'm going to take you to film school for a while. There was a man.
All right, James Lipton, take me to school on this. You're such a
Annabelle. When you get to heaven, what would you like to hear God say to you at the pearly gates? Remember when James Lipton always said? That's what. And then God would be like, I don't lie. No, I'm joking. You actually are thin. So anyways, okay. Give me a minute, Annabelle, to do this. John Hughes is the writer and producer of this. But John Hughes, he means something he means a great deal in my personal life, just in terms of the movies I loved growing up. He lived from 1950 to 2009. And in that short amount of time, 59 was not very old. He did some of the most amazing films. He was the writer of Home Alone and the producer on Home Alone. Chris Columbus directed it, who went on to do the Harry Potter movies, or the first couple. But he directed, get this, he directed and wrote, this is amazing. Like, I really like the output on this dude. He directed only 8 movies: 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, and Curly Sue. He did 8 bangers. Like, have you seen any of these movies?
I've seen Ferris Bueller.
Did you understand it? He wanted a day off from school?
I really thought it was like Abe Froman's movie. Yeah, I really thought like that character really stole the show of it. No, I haven't seen like any of the what is it like the I was gonna call
16 Candles, Weird
Science. Like I've never seen any of like the Brat Pack.
Well, this kind of had characters from the Brat Pack, but like it wasn't Sam Elmo's Fire. He had nothing to do with that, which was like real
I've never
prime
seen
time
that,
Brat
or
Pack.
like the Breakfast Club or like that. But I think I've only seen like Ferris Bueller out of all of those.
Okay, but get this: he did 8 films as a director, but as a writer, this dude he wrote National Lampoon's Vacation. He also wrote 16 Candles. He wrote the movie Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton, if you guys know that. Wrote Breakfast Club, wrote European Vacation, wrote Pretty in Pink, wrote Ferris Bueller's, wrote Some Kind of Wonderful, which is a beautiful film, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, The Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Dennis the Menace, Baby's Day Out. It's weird. He started off with teens and then he got younger and younger. By the end, he was like Home Alone. And then one of his last films was Baby's Day Out. He did the screenplay for Flubber. You probably saw Flubber. That seems like a you movie with Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
It's green and that that Robin Williams had like crazy glasses in it, but no, I didn't. Flubber.
Also, do you know he wrote the movie Beethoven?
It's a little juvenile for my taste, Ryan. I prefer a more I know. I prefer like a higher echelons version, like a higher brow of comedy, like via the Clumps.
Like Beethoven? He wrote Beethoven, the dog movie about the dog.
Oh my God. No, I love Beethoven. I actually had that video game.
Okay, well, get this. He wrote Beethoven, but he didn't write Beethoven under his name, John Hughes. He had a surname. He had a secret name named Edmond Dantes, and he wrote Beethoven under a different name. He also did Beethoven's second under a different name, Edmond Dantes, and Beethoven's third. It's wild. Like he had.
Why would that be? Like, I like that he's like, I'm going to use my Starbucks name as also my fake. What is it? Oh, what's the word when not Carol Radswell ghostwriter, but what's the
writer
real name of when you use was it nom de plume? What is it the word
nom de plume? Yeah.
Are you impressed that I knew that? Huh.
No. Also, he wrote the story by for Made in Manhattan, the Jennifer Lopez Ray Fiennes movie. You've probably seen Made in Manhattan?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to say, literally, Home Alone is produced and written by one of the man that shaped who I was as a teen. I know you haven't seen a lot of those films, but those films were meant so much to me. And they had already been never got to see one in the movie theater because 16 Candles and Breakfast Club came out before I was I was able to go to movies, but I saw them all on VHS.
Not before I was born, Ryan. So
I saw them all on VHS so many times, and I own all of them on DVD. And even though there's no way I'll probably ever use them, this John
Did you
Hughes
own one for did you own copies for your 8-track player, or how did you originally watch them?
VHS. John Hughes meant the world to me, and it really is cool that he does. So when you see a John Hughes production at the beginning of the movie, I was like, you're already in. This guy was associated with talent, and unfortunately, I wish, Annabelle, you would just start watching movies. I think it would actually bring you out of this depression you're in. And this is a
I'm doing great.
This is a 1990 family Christmas movie about an 8-year-old mistakenly being left at home during a family vacation to Paris, France. At first, he enjoys his freedom of being alone. Soon learns how much family matters when his home is the target of 2 bandits. Through a series of booby traps and comical antics,
You said booby.
Kevin keeps the thieves at bay until his family is able to come back just in time for Christmas. I should be like... Kevin keeps the thieves at bay and escapes from being sexually assaulted before his family that was. Anyways, it's just a different time now. It's a different time. The 1990 was a more innocent time, so it was fun to mess around with burglars back then. But I just wouldn't recommend it for any kid. So the movie starts off, you guys, as
I feel do we really have I feel like burglars is much more a more innocent, simpler time. I feel like now we just have murderers. That's what nobody stops at burglary. It's burglar. It's gone from B to an M.
You know what we have now is we have those Amazon package thieves. They just go and grab your package from your door and run.
Yeah, I know. And it's in the old sweet and simpler times, burglars would come and grab your actual package, attack you and then leave. But now it's just everything's gotten so commercial and everything's just so.
I think Annabelle, you would have been if you had met the right people, you would have been in the bling ring. I feel you would have totally been in the bling ring. And I know you think that's a compliment.
I'm not even kidding. That's one of the nicest things anyone.
I know. I knew you would think that was a compliment. So you guys, the movie starts where Joe Pesci Joe Pesci, by the way, did Goodfellas, which you probably haven't seen.
No, I've
Goodfellas,
seen
Home Alone.
Goodfellas.
Oh, and I know you've got to have seen My Cousin Vinny, right?
I've seen my cousin Vinny a ton of like so many times. Goodfellas, like Godfather, like I've seen like those.
Okay. Well, Joe Pesci did a run of these movies all within like a 6-year span. Like, and he is so funny in Home Alone, I think. Like, no joking, all joking aside, him and Daniel Stern, who play the two wet bandits, Marv and Harry, are so funny because this is like, how do you make two criminals after a kid funny? But they actually, did you find them funny? I found them hysterical.
Oh, I found it hilarious. I'm so sorry. I'm just so distracted, Ryan, by your like, there's something about Mary, like one little, like, piece of hair that's sticking up.
Is this better?
Okay. No. Put the hat back on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's better. Yeah. Okay.
What's up, YouTube? So anyways,
I was just distracted by your like brothers.
Did you think it was so funny, right?
No, I genuinely think it's like this is a very funny movie, and him and Daniel Stern like are such a great like comedic pair that I thought they were like very fun in this. Like they were my favorite part.
So Joe Pesci's dressed as a police officer. He comes into this busy McAllister family home and he's like, "Miss, young lady, excuse me, girls. Hey, little guy, excuse me, girl." He's trying to get a hold. Everybody's walking by him and he's like, and like there's just madness going on because they're getting ready for their big trip. And
watching this house gave me such anxiety. Like it's like
because your parents don't want to see you ever. They put you in a different area.
It's like I know like a Duggar family. Like like there's so many kids and like people in it, and just like it.
But isn't this the best house ever? Like to me, the house is so classic. Like this to me,
such a gorgeous house. It's so stunning. Where like I went to a like very big like breakfast like 2 weeks ago, and it was like a very, very fancy, impressive house. And like I went up to the host and I was like, "You were like, thank you so much for like hosting."
Was it an IHOP or what was it?
No, it's very lowbrow for me. It was a waffle house. You probably don't know how to pronounce it. But no, it was like a incredibly expensive house. And I went to the host and I was like, "Thank you so much for like having us. Your house is so beautiful." I was like, "This is even more beautiful like than the Home Alone house." And the look that they both gave me where they were like, is that a compliment? And like, I don't know
fuck them. Like that is a compliment. First off, like that is
then somebody like around them was like, "No, that's like a huge compliment." And then they're like, "Oh, thank you. I'm just going to take your word." Okay. And it's like, they didn't get it, but I was like, no, this is like, it's, that's like
that's why I hate where we're at with real estate now, like selling the OC and selling Sunset. It's like, you guys wouldn't appreciate a Home Alone house. Like you guys would ruin a Home Alone. You'd be like, "Let's just knock it all down. And then we'll put 2 stories, open.
Like we'll have everything white. It will be like in the shape of a really long rectangle. We'll have like a spouse, like there will be no like it just, this is what an expensive house like looks to me. Like this is what it is, like not a weird fucking like maze that like Kim Kardashian's house is, where everything's like the same color. It's like in Dog Vision, where I'm like, there are only 2 colors in this entire fucking house. It's weird. Like this is like glamour to me. But yeah, I was like,
so we meet Macaulay Culkin, who plays Kevin McAllister. He goes into his mom's room. And he's like, "Mom, Uncle Frank won't let me watch the movie, but the big kids can. Why can't I?" And Kate's like, "Kevin, I'm on the phone." And she's talking to like her sister or something. Kevin's like, "It's not even rated R. He's just being a jerk." And Kate's like, "Kevin, if Uncle Frank says no, that must be really bad." Because Uncle Frank is a really funny character, but he also is very creepy. And even in Home Alone 2, it even gets worse. There's a shower scene with Uncle Frank where he's like singing, he's like, "Oh, da, 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 da." And like, it is, there's a story there with Uncle Frank. He could have been and this won't make sense to you, the uncle, the Randy Quaid from Christmas Vacation.
Or do you just mean Randy Quaid in real life? Because I understand the Randy Quaid
Clark,
in real life.
How you doing, Clark? No, he played Cousin Eddie. Like Uncle Frank could have been a spin-off character of Home Alone. He was that.
No, creepy. I think anything with starts with like uncle. When anyone ever starts a story of like, oh, my uncle one time, and I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be a good. This is not going to be a good story. Like uncles are just like notoriously. I am more surprised if it like somebody starts telling an uncle story, if it ends up on like the positive side. Like that's the surprising part. I'm already preparing myself for like a Law and Order SVU episode, like recap. Yeah. Like uncles are just not great.
Kate, Kevin's mom, is played by Catherine O'Hara. Who's just an amazing comedian, but she's also just extremely beautiful too, I think. She's one of the funniest women out there. Have you seen her work with well, I'm scared to ask.
Nightmare Before Christmas? Yes.
No, like have you seen like Waiting for Guffman. Yeah,
I've never seen Waiting for Guffman. I've seen like Best in Show, but it's like I also think I imagine her house is. I imagine she has like 15 Home Alone houses like all over the fucking world. Like she must have a fucking like golden kitchen. Like the amount of money she even just rakes in during Christmas time between Home Alone and Nightmare Before Christmas. Like her.
Wait, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, she's the voice of Sally.
Wait. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's the voice of Sally. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
who's the film buff now?
Yeah, I will say I don't think. I was curious last night, like how much does Macaulay rake in? Like, because residuals aren't what they are. Streaming services are different. Like, do they get a big fat check every year like Mariah Carey does in the holidays when they start singing the Christmas crap? You know, like, are you like, does that like, because Mariah Carey makes her yearly nut during this month. Like she depends on this. Nick Cannon depends on this month to like feed and house 80 billion
to feed all
kids.
Of his nuts that he's given out.
But so Catherine O'Hara is the mom. Peter is played by an actor named John Hurd, who's been in tons of things, including a wild storyline on The Sopranos. And Pete, Kevin's dad, is like, Kate, did you pick up that voltage adapter thing? And she's like, no, I didn't have time to do it. And then he's like, how do I shave in France? And she's like, grow a goatee. And he's like, Kevin's like, Dad, nobody will let me do anything. And Peter's like, you don't have anything to do? I have something for you to do. You can pick up those micro machines that are almost over there. Aunt Leslie stepped on one of them, almost broke her neck. And
I learned that there were different plugs in Europe because like I've never traveled like anywhere.
Is this about to be a butt joke?
Is this about to be a butt joke?
You said plugs.
Oh, kind of. Well, no, how I learned about because I didn't know that there are different like adapters or whatever. How I learned about other cultures was one of a top movie. It's severely underrated. Just Married, with the then real life couple of Brittany Murphy, may she R.I.P., and Ashton Kutcher in the movie Just Married, when when a wedding guest gives them, I think it's like, or she's like, oh, my kooky aunt like gave us this like vibrator, and she like tries to plug it in to like when they're on their honeymoon in Europe, and then it like short circuits the entire hotel, and then they're like asked to leave. But then
I bet you just laughed and laughed. I bet in the movie
how I learned about.
I bet in the movie theater you're just like, wow. But anyways, Kevin's being a smart ass to his dad, and he's like, did I burn the joint down? I don't think so. I was making ornaments out of fish hooks. And his dad's like, my new fish hooks? He goes, I can't make them out of old ones with dry worm guts stuck on them. And you guys, I can't even portray or begin to portray how cute this Macaulay Culkin is. Like at this age, like he is like the perfect little actor, dude. Like he's so charming in these movies. Like there's no joke there. He had something really special. And I will say there's a dark side to that, because Macaulay Culkin's career after these movies, he went from Richie Rich. He had problems with his dad, and there was, alleged drug addiction. He got really skinny, and now he's back. Like he's on a really good path now. But imagine being a kid and being the number one actor in Hollywood for a couple of years as an 8-year-old. Like it really was insane. Like there's a story I remember in Premiere Magazine where his dad, who was his manager, when they wanted him to do Richie Rich, and they were like, his dad was like, well, you're going to have to make that kid rich. And it was like his dad was playing hardball, and he's like an 8-year-old kid, like, and he's like carrying these big productions, but he's just like, don't you think he's just the damn cutest kid ever?
I think he carried this movie, and he's an incredible, like, I think
he's in all those scenes by himself, like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
He did so great. Yeah, he didn't even have a volleyball to like work off of. Like, it was just him.
Yeah. But
like, I think he is incredible.
I auditioned for the volleyball in Castaway, by the way, Wilson.
And they were just like, oh, he's
yeah. They went better looking for it. So
they're like, oh no, it's not really like a taped penis role. It's like more deep than that. It's not like, I think it's too yeah, I think yours is
Sir, take the volleyball off your head. It's sad now. Sir. But he's so cute. He carries this movie. Anyways, he's being a smart ass to his parents.
He's not like an annoying, like he's not like a pretentious, like annoying, like little asshole. Like he's smart.
Well, he walks that fine line where he is a little asshole at times, but it's in a really cute way. But then he always catches himself. He's always like, even with the old man Marley, he catches himself and he's like, yeah, you can sit next to me in the church. Like he realizes when he needs to be a nice young man. And I think it's like really does. He walks that line really, really great.
He's not so fucking annoying. But did you read that? Cause me and you have talked like privately about The Good Son, but like I didn't realize it wasn't like that. It's like, of course, like if it was like on the internet, so it's like obviously it was true if it's on the internet, but that he like wasn't even supposed to be the role in The Good Son, but for Home Alone 2. So I was like, oh no, if you want him to do Home Alone 2, he will.
He has to do. And The Good Son, he plays it because he wanted.
He took the role away from another kid and was like, oh no, this is yours.
Well, by the way, because this is so dark, so they really try to set it like he wanted to show his range as a 10-year-old actor. So he was in The Good Son where he like played like an evil kid against like a young Elijah Wood. And that's why it's fascinating, but they were really trying to like set him up. So anyways, he's being annoying. The uncle and aunt are there with their kids as well. So it's a house full of kids. And the mom's like, go pack your suitcase, Kevin. And he's like, pack my suitcase. And he's like, I've never packed. I don't know how to pack a suitcase. I was thinking about that. For a kid, that is got to be weird when you do start learning what grown-up things are. And like, yeah, like there is a time where I still actually, when I think about it, I still don't know how to pack a suitcase.
The thing is, I'm just like, when people, like when his sister was like, oh, you're what the French call les incompetents or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, you're acting very like, Countess Luann de Lesseps right now, very like eggs a la Francais. But it's just like, that's not like a kid thing to do. Ramona Singer can't even unpack her own suitcase, let alone pack it. Like what is like one of the most common scenes we see in Housewives when their poor maid or assistant has to pack their suitcase for them. So it's like to ask this fucking 8-year-old of like, pack your suitcase. And it's like, listen, if you're a kid or like if you're a parent and ask your kid to do that, you cannot like be pissed off when you get to like wherever you're fucking going and then you have them like open their suitcase and it's like a fucking like bunch of like toy dinosaurs and like an iPad, and then they're just like, oh, I brought no, like, oh, I don't have a toothbrush or pants or anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
Don't, if you're if you're an 8-year-old kid, if you're a mom, don't make unless you're doing a very specific lesson and like trying to teach it, it's very irresponsible of Catherine O'Hara as a mom to go tell her 8-year-old to go pack his own suitcase. He goes, I don't know how to pack a suitcase. I've never done this once in my whole life. By the way, we're intercutting between the family and the kids, like Buzz, who's the annoying older brother, and then Joe Pesci, who we think is the policeman who keeps going, hey, what's going on? Hey, I got to talk to somebody. Hey.
I just love that the thing of that even back, like then before people had like the idea of like police that now we have, but it's just like a policeman is like literally in the house, just like, hey, can I talk to you? Hey kid, can I talk to you? And they're like, whatever, bye. And no, I'm packing. fucking like, nope, I don't live here. That's my friend. Like, nobody can be bothered with this fucking like police officer that's in their house.
Yeah, no
like,
respect. His family, no respect.
Hotel. Go to a hotel. You're this. No, I would have nobody. Like,
So
no.
this kid, kid Lenny, one of the kids, Lenny's like, I hope you didn't just pack crap, Jeff. And Jeff is like, shut up, Lenny. And Kevin goes, do you know what I should pack? And Jeff goes, Buzz told you, cheek face, toilet paper and water. And then Lenny goes, listen, Kevin, what are you so worried about? This is what you said. You know, mom's going to pack your stuff anyway. You're what the French call les compétences. And Kevin's like, what? And then we cut to Jeff at the top of the stairs, bombs away and throws bags that land right at the cop Harry's feet. And, the cop Harry's just like, what's going on in this crazy house? And then Rod goes to Buzz in Buzz's room. He goes, who's going to feed your spider while we're gone? And Buzz goes, he just ate a load of mice guts. He should be good for a couple weeks. Hey, is it true? By the way, I don't know why I'm doing an older man voice for Buzz, but he's like, hey, is it true French babes don't shave their pits? And Rod's like, some don't. And Buzz like, but they got nude beaches. And Rod goes, not in the winter, which is like a big letdown for Buzz. By the way, Annabelle, do you shave your pits? I meant to ask you while I was like, that's a good conversation starter.
Oh, well, actually, that's what I used for my nutcracker hair.
Yeah. Wow, you all white underarm hair. But I love that Buzz's idea of French babes, like, but he's also worried that they might not shave.
And then like, oh no, they don't have nude beaches, but trust me, but they are still super rude and smoke all the time. So you'll still kind of get
well. I woke up today. I think it's today. I woke up to a picture Maritza sent me of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, like nude doing the peace sign. And she asked me, I don't know. She asked me to classify Yoko Ono's boobs. And I just woken up but I was so distracted with the huge bush that they both had. Like this John Lennon did not shave at all. Like, I mean, we're talking, they must have just been pulling yanks of hair out of their mouths and if there was any kind of oral thing going on, it was so different than how it is now. Like, I mean, Yoko could have had a nice landing strip and John could have trimmed up a little bit, but like, she was like, I was like, I couldn't even notice the genitalia of either of them because of the bush was so distracting on these.
You were so focused on it. Well, it's like, listen, Harry Hamlin would have loved it. Harry Hamlin,
Harry Hamlin's Harry Hamlin is a very well groomed man, except that he has a huge bush. You know it. And she's like, Harry, don't you? I love every piece of you, Harry. Anyways, Kevin's like, can I sleep in your room? I don't want to sleep in the hide-a-bed with Fuller. If he has something to drink, he'll wet the bed. And Buzz goes, I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were growing on my ass. And then Buzz looks out the window. He goes, check it out. Old man Marley. And they all look out and they see this old man. They're like, Rod's like, who's he? And Buzz is like, you ever heard of the South End Shovel Slayer? And Rod's like, no. Well, that's him. Back in 58, he murdered his whole family and half the people on his block with a snow shovel. Been hiding out in this neighborhood ever since. And Rod's like, if he's the shovel slayer, how come the cops don't arrest him? And Buzz's like, not enough evidence to convict. They never found the bodies. But everyone around here knows he did it. It'll just be a matter of time before he does it again. And Rod's like,
because the cops are too busy hanging out in our living room trying to talk to people.
He walks up and down the street every night, salting the sidewalks. And Rod's like, maybe he's just trying to be nice. And Buzz is like, no way. You see that garbage can full of salt? That's where he keeps his victims. The salt turns the body into mummies. And Rod's like, wow. And Kevin's like, mummies? Oh! And he does one of those cute Macaulay. I can't do it, but the cute Macaulay Culkin face.
You can't do any cute thing, right?
I can't. But by the way, also, wouldn't this be a cool detour for like a remake where Old Man Marley is a serial killer? Like where he did kill all those, but at this time he wants forgiveness. And so he is salting the streets. He also was the slayer of his whole neighborhood, like years ago, decades ago. Like, I mean, both could be true. Cut to, which by the way, this is a great little small part. A pizza boy driving to the McAllister home hits a statue, which is a reoccurring joke in the front lawn. The pizza boy picks it up, all dopey, and Carrie's like, hey, how you kids doing? I'm a cop. Good. Hey, lots of action going around here today. Huh? Going on vacation? Where you going? You hear me or what? Going on a trip? Where you going? And the two kids are just staring at Joe Pesci like, like in a fog. And the pizza boy
stupid kid way, because like that's such a kid that like they just stare at you. Like they're weird. They just like stare where you're like, stop. It's just they're so fucking gross and weird, and they smell like sour syrup, and they're just I'm just not a fan.
Wait, by the way, I'm doing this over Zoom, but Annabelle doesn't smell like roses right now. Like I mean, like you like that's what. So they smell like syrup. I'm like, let's get a whiff of Annabelle right now. I wish there could be like scratch and sniff podcast.
Yeah, oh my god, do you remember the TV? This is God, I'm dating myself like Ryan. Okay, do you remember like the TV guide that came out where it was like during like Honey Boo Boo's like peak time where they did like a scratch and sniff episode where like you could not see them.
Like hey, when scene 3 comes up, this is what failure smells like.
Not even kidding. It was a scratch and sniff episode where like throughout the episode then it would like tell you like when to like scratch like the next thing, and so you could like smell the episode.
Well, anyway, so kids smell weird to Annabelle, but I'm sure Annabelle smells weird to kid. Anyway, the pizza boy's like, okay. He's like a little teen boy. He's like, okay, it's $122.50. And Harry's like, not from me, kid. I don't live here. And the pizza boy goes, oh, you just around for the holidays? And Harry goes, I guess you could say that. And Frank's like, hey, pizza's here. The pizza boy goes, there you go. That's $122.50. And Frank is like, it's my brother's house. He'll take care of it. And Harry's like, hey, listen. And Peter's like, hey. And Harry's in the cop uniform. He's like, are you Mr. McAllister? And he goes, yeah. The Mr. McAllister who lives here? Yeah. And the pizza boy goes, good, because somebody owes me $122.50. And Harry's like, I'd like a word with you, sir. And he goes, am I under arrest or something? He goes, no. It's Christmas time. There's always a lot of burglaries around the holidays. So
nobody ever gets arrested around Christmas time.
No. It's a very safe holiday. We're just checking the neighborhood to see if everyone's taking the proper precautions. That's all. And Peter's like, oh, yeah, we have all the automatic timers for our lights, locks for our doors. That's about as well as anybody can do these days, right? Do you want some eggnog or something like that? Which I thought was also a weird thing to offer cop eggnog.
Yeah, did you make sure you got some eggnog? Which like, number one, like,
hey, you need any dairy? Would you like a cheese stick or something?
Yeah, but like, hey, cop, who is standing in my family room, like not even outside the door, which is like where a normal person would like get an alert, like let alone a professional, who's standing inside my room, like, oh, hey, do you make sure you got some eggnog? Okay, bye. Like, also, and then like, you know what, like. Fake cop, I'd be like more concerned about investigating this 10 pizzas for $120. That's the most suspicious part of this scene.
I will say this is when inflation didn't like, I'm like, wait a sec. You can tell John Hughes probably was rich at this point and didn't realize what things cost anymore, because you can get like a Domino's pizza for like $8 right now. So 10 times 8, that's 80. The price for gas has gone up. The price for pizza has gone down. And I find that fascinating, which is they should really do another movie about that. Kevin goes, did anyone order me a plain cheese? Like he's whining. It's like, get in there, kid. And Buzz goes, oh yeah, we did. But if you want any, somebody's going to have to barf it up because it's gone. And Leslie's like, Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi. And Fuller's the one that wets the bed. And he's like, he's like Lisa Renee. He's like, hee. And Buzz is like, Cab, get a plate. And then Buzz chokes. He's like, ugh. And right before Buzz fake barfs, Peter goes, passports. Peter spills the Pepsi, the dad. And Frank goes, watch it. That's Peter's brother, Frank. And Peter goes, no, get these passports out of here.
Fucking scrub who's useless.
So this is an important note because Peter throws away a bunch of napkins along with Kevin's airline ticket. So this is a very important piece of the puzzle of why they didn't know Kevin was gone. Because they're not good parents. They just don't look at airlines tickets, not their actual kids. Anyways, Kevin's like, he ate my pizza on purpose. He knows I hate sausage and olives. And Frank's like, look at what you did, you little jerk. And Kate's like, Kevin, go upstairs right now. And he's like, why? And then Jeff's like, Kevin.
You're like, look at what you did, you little jerk. Is really excessive for someone.
I wouldn't let my brother speak to my son like that.
Of like, that you didn't even pay for, Uncle Frank. Like, the parents don't even step in when he like screams, like, look what you did, you little jerk. Of like, okay, I'll like have several seats.
No, he's
Uncle
perfectly
Frank.
cast because I don't think there's anybody that's like, Uncle Frank's right. He is a little jerk. You know, like nobody's on Uncle
The
Frank's
parents
side.
like don't even fucking step in. And also like Catherine O'Hara, like this is one of those like families where she's like, I hope everyone's drinking. She literally says, I hope everyone's drinking milk where like we have to go and it's about to go bad. I'm like, you have that fucking house and you're like, I don't want to waste the rest of this gallon of milk. It's like, how fucking cheap are you? Like,
Well, okay, but here, so Kevin has to go to bed. Kevin has to go to bed early, and Kate goes out. The mom pays the pizza boy, and I love that the pizza boy. There's a line of like, "Nice tip, thanks a lot." So I love that they threw that in there. Like Catherine O'Hara's character is not a cheapskate. Tips pizza boys very well, and then Harry, the police officer, Joe Pesci, goes, having a reunion or something? And Kate goes, oh no, my husband's brother transferred to Paris last summer and both of his kids are still going to school here. And I guess he missed the whole family. Harry smiles at Kevin, showing his gold tooth. Another big moment. Kevin is like about to go up to bed and he sees the gold tooth. He like smiles and he goes, he's given us all this trip to Paris for the holidays so we can be together. And Harry goes, you're taking a trip to Paris? And Kate's like, yeah, we hope to leave tomorrow morning. He goes, excellent. Excellent. Which, by the way, I would get weirded out if a cop was like, excellent, excellent. It would just be weird. And Kate goes, if you'll excuse me, this one's a little out of sorts. I'll be right back. And he goes, don't worry about me. I spoke to your husband already. And don't worry about your home. It's in good hands. By the way, did you know that thing a couple weeks ago where Jax Taylor did the Home Alone remake for a brand on his Instagram? Did you see that? He made his son be Macaulay Culkin and he was Joe Pesci and he did the smile and Brittany played the mom.
What a weird
Ryan, if you can find that, insert that into the videos. What?
That's a really weird Nutrisystem commercial for her to go with.
No, it was like, I think it was for something for Jax. I think it was a Jax product. By the way, this is the time of the year when you see influencers just trying to influence the shit out of you. They're all trying to grab a piece of the money pie right now. So
I'm very curious to know what it was for.
I'll find out.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what FabFitFun box was like?
But by the way, I was like, Jax is really putting time and effort. There was like multi shots. Like you could tell this thing was directed. Like it's all from their phones, but they were like edited together. And I was like, oh, it's
the only film that Randall Emmett is making right now.
This is a Randall Emmett. By the way, the best thing Randall Emmett's ever made. So anyways, Kevin's upstairs and the mom's like, there are 15 people in this house and you're the only one that has to make trouble. And he's like, I'm the only one getting dumped on. And anyways, so
she goes, I just cannot believe this. Again, she goes upstairs with you, and he's like, like saying like to the attic because she's making him do like a fucking flowers in the attic, but like this way, it's like it's him being like peed on, like not voluntarily, like making out with his sister. It's like when she's like upstairs, and he's like, we're already upstairs, dummy. If I had called my parents a dummy, I would have been put up in the attic. They would have purposely locked it, gone to Paris, and come back and been like, "No, she called us. She can ruminate on that for a while."
See, this is why I feel like you might no.
Like,
but Emma, this is why I feel like you might have killed your parents. Like I feel like you might have said the dummy thing. They said no, and you said yes, and then you fought back.
I mean, I told you like how when I was like a kid, like they. Like she thought I rolled my eye. Like there was another.
Oh yeah, she smacked you, right? Like she smacked you across the.
No, she didn't smack. She did stab out one of my eyes. I am doing a Gangs of New York.
Sandy Duncan.
I have a fake eye. I'm like Daniel Day-Lewis. I do have one fake eye. But. No, like she thought I like slammed the door. And so then they took my door off the hinges and I didn't have a door for a year. Like if I had said like, I'm upstairs, dummy. Are you fucking kidding me? Like would you?
This is what I'm saying. By the way, this is where I'm saying he's being a little asshole in this moment. And he goes, I don't want to sleep up here with Fuller. You know about him. He wets the bed. He'll pee all over me. I know it.
He's gonna failing me. He's going to taunt me. And then he's going to throw water all over us, and then he didn't do it.
By the way, I love that this is the movie where like Michael Jackson was like, hee, I found my new best friend. Hee. Woo! Like, because he became best friends with Macaulay Culkin, and Macaulay says that he never did anything weird with Michael Jackson, which I think is like just being around Michael Jackson is kind of weird at that age, regardless of what Michael Jackson did or didn't do to this young man. But I like that Michael was sitting in and he was like, "Hee, this is funny what he does with the bad guys. Adults are bad. Ooh." Like, "Ooh, Macaulay, you're a star, Macaulay." Ooh. Anyways, so Kevin goes, "Everyone in this family hates me." And Kate goes, "Then maybe you should ask Santa for a new family." And Kevin goes, "I don't want a new family. I don't want any family. Families suck." And Kate goes, "Just stay up here. I don't want to see you again for the rest of the night." And Kevin goes, "I don't want to see you again for the rest of my whole life. And I don't want to see anybody else either." And Kate goes, "I hope you didn't mean that. You'd feel pretty sad if you woke up tomorrow morning and you didn't have a family." And he goes, "No, I wouldn't." "Then say it again. Maybe it'll happen." And he goes, "I hope I never see any of you jerks again."
And like, if I was him, Ben, like, you know what? I don't need you. I can go to Olive Garden because when I'm there, I'm family with everyone. So I don't fucking need you.
No, but Kate. But this is actually like you could tell there's going to be like mommy issues later in life, or there already is. Like, it's starting big time in this movie. Round 2, Home Alone 2 is even worse. Like, I really do, like, there's no way Kevin McAllister does not live at home still. Like, he is so attached to his mom that it is wild. And by the way, I relate to Kevin McAllister in this way. I'm very much like that with my mom. I told her last week, I said, I hope I never see any of you jerks again. And that was just last week. Just last week.
So you're like, I'm doing this from the attic.
Yeah.
Bill and Becky are downstairs. They possibly have left me for Christmas.
So he wishes this, you guys. And then all of a sudden at night, we see the branch fall on a telephone wire. So there's no more electricity in the house. So the alarm clock doesn't go off. We cut to the front door of McAllister house the next morning, and a van driver knocks on the door while another van driver picks up the statue it just knocked over, pulling up. And Kate wakes up and goes, "Peter!" And Peter and Kate goes, "We slept in!" And then it's like all these fast-paced kids moving around.
And when I watched that, I was like, you don't really see that. You don't see that in movies anymore. Like the fast-forward, fast-paced thing.
I loved it. I thought, I was like, look at this technology. It was amazing.
The thing is, it's such a fun, like 90s, like also, like that doesn't happen anymore.
No, they need to bring it back. I hope the new Avatar has that. But there's a sequel to Avatar. So anyways, this little kid, by the way, great little kid another little kid actor, this kid Mitch he's talking to the van driver. He's like, "Hi, I'm Mitch Murphy. I live across the street. You guys going out of town? We're going to Orlando, Florida. Well, first we're going to Missouri to pick up my grandma. You know, the McAllisters are going to France. Do you know if it's cold there? Do these vans get good mileage?" And he's like,
yeah, he's like a fucking, like, if like Rain Man was born like under fucking Wrigley Field, like this little like Chicago, like
Chicago,
kid. I'm just like doing all these random facts where he was like, and like knockoff of like, do you know that the human head weighs 8 pounds, or like
Jerry, do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds 5 ounces? Anyway, so then what happens is Heather, like Kate, the mom is like, "Heather, do a head count. Make sure everyone's in the vans. Where are the passports and tickets?" And Peter's like, "I put them in the microwave to dry off." And then Mitch goes, "How fast does this thing go? Does it have automatic transmission? Does it have 4-wheel drive?" And he goes, "Look, I told you before, kid, don't bother me. Beat it." Heather goes, "Line up in front of the band. Come on, guys. Line up and shut up." And Mitch is like, "Wow." Heather's like, "Shut up. I need a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Buzz is like 11, 92, 12. And Heather's like, "Buzz, don't be a moron. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Half in this van, half in the van, half in this van, half in that van. Let's go." And she
I wish they would have divided the vans how they do on Housewives, when they all look at each other and they're like, "Who do we hate the most?"
Yeah,
they're gonna go in the opposite van of that one.
Uncle Frank is the only one in the van to himself. And so they counted this little Mitch kid as Kevin. So like, because Kevin's in the attic and Mitch is like, "Have a good trip. Bring me back something French." And Frank's like, "There's no way we'll make this plane. It leaves in 45 minutes. And Peter, the dad, is like, "Think positive, Frank." He goes, "You be positive. I'll be realistic." And the electric.
Listen, this is before 9/11, so you can just
Oh yeah. By the way, we're gonna get to the
with like an AK-47 and like a 24-ounce thing of shampoo, and they're like, "You're fine."
Oh yeah, we'll get to the airport in one second. Electrical worker goes, "Ma'am, this is important information. I goes, I just want to let you know that your power is fixed, but the phone lines are a mess. It's going to take around a couple days to patch them up, especially around the holidays before cell phones. Kate's like, okay, thanks. Heather, did you get the kids? Did you count the heads? And she goes, 11, including me, 5 boys, 6 girls, 4 parents, 2 drivers, and a partridge in a pear tree. They run to the airport. Like, this is like what you just said. This is pre 9/11. So it was so easy to get right to the gate. Like, they ran in, there's no security check.
There's no one saying, like, standing there of like, do you want to join the Clear program? Do you want to join Clear? You can sign up for Clear for a free month.
And also, this is when you know it's like a fiction movie. The airport gate agents is like, no, you just made it right in time. Single seats only in coach.
Happy and smiling.
She's happy to do her job.
Yeah, she goes, go into coach, and she goes, grab whatever seat's available. And I'm like, is this a fucking Southwest flight?
Dude, I was coming back from
seats available.
I was coming back from Chicago last week, and literally the lady was like, we have a weight requirement on this plane. You can only put a certain type of bag about, like, she seemed like she was about to cry. And I was like, that's what I needed from this airport gate agent. But they're like, you just made it, McAllister's. Single seats only in coach. Take whatever's free. And
I remember literally, and this is like at this fucking airport here. I remember like I was in like security line and I gave the TSA person. Now, granted, I'm not kidding. There are 2 gates at this airport. There are 2 gates.
2 gates?
Did you say 2
gates?
Gates.
I thought you said gays, 2 gays. I was like, that's not right.
And I was like, oh no, they don't allow any of those names.
Oh God.
No, that's what I love about my job. It's like there are only 6 of us who work there, and 4 of us are gay. And I'm like, I love that. I'm like, how lucky am I that I get to work in like a liberal, cool like office where like all of us are attractive and like the same age. Like, I'm very, very blessed. So no, but there are
somebody should write a sitcom about you guys.
Maybe
wait, this could be, by the way, you guys could be a reality show then. Like, oh, it could be called Gakin. or like Gakin at work.
Play Gakin and work.
Gakin at work. Gakin at work. Like making it work, but gay and then Aiken. Gakin at work.
Yeah, we're playmates. I was a claymate. I voted for him every week. And I'm like, Ruben, I'm worried about your, I'm worried about your cholesterol level. I don't know if we're even going to make it to the finale. So I like voted for Clay and like, unfortunately. Anyway, but there are only
by the way, rest in peace to Ruben Studdard, who was an amazing.
Wait, did he die?
He did pass away. Yes.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Yes.
I can't tell if you're the thing is, I can't tell if you're kidding.
Look up Ruben Studdard online right now.
Oh,
like
no.
Your little.
Oh no, I don't have my phone.
And you never even. Anyways, trust me.
God. Hey,
okay,
Siri,
but oh no.
did Ruben Studdard die?
Here's what I found.
So she didn't say yes, he did.
Well, I think she wants you to read it.
He didn't die, you asshole.
Yes, he did. Wait, are you sure?
Wait, it says like on.
Wait, 1 second.
The thing is, on Wikipedia, it says years active 2002 to present.
Wait, 1 sec. Okay, I'm so sorry. He is alive. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I really did think he, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm so sorry, Ruben. He actually looks amazing. And by the way, oh my God, 2 days ago, listen to this. American Idol star Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard team up for a tour and a charity concert. They're going on tour together. So actually what turned out to be a negative is turning into this is turning into a positive thing because I am promoting the Ruben Studdard Clay Aiken tour coming up.
Not via Ouija board, via the interwebs because he's still alive.
Wow. Well, anyways, they're going on tour, so check them out.
So basically,
by the way, okay. Here's a plug.
Because I'm having to fucking correct you.
Here's a plug. You can get tickets at the event's official website, rubenandclay.com. It's not a joke. It's RUBEN. I'm so sorry to say that he passed away. Okay, anyways, back to the movie.
No.
No, we got to. Annabelle, this is how we end up with 5 hours. We got to push on. I'm sorry that
our TSA agent who told me when I gave him my ID, there are 3 people who work at that airport. I gave him my ID, which obviously like I have like makeup on in it. And he was like, oof, rough morning. He goes, you don't really look
it's like Buzz's girlfriend. Woof.
He goes, oof, rough morning. You don't look like this. And I looked at him. I just like looked up and I was like, I just came from my parents' funeral and like took my ticket and walked away.
You admit your parents are gone.
I admit that I did a dual funeral because I was too cheap to pay for 2 separate ones. And I also put them in this.
Wait. So you made up a thing to make the guy feel bad that your parents had died?
Yeah, you want to shame me that I don't look like how I fucking look on my fucking driver's license, you dickhole, and it's 5:30 in the morning? Fuck you. Yeah, I just came from my parents'
And what did he say?
He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Yeah."
Well, I would have asked why was your parents' funeral that early in the morning? You said you came from 5:30 in the morning? Well, how early are you doing funerals?
No, I meant I was there visiting for my parents' funeral.
Oh, I thought you meant you just came from the funeral and like got to the airport.
I mean, yes,
There's a lot of holes here.
Buried them in the same thing. Yes, it was the cheapest.
I've got to say, I think I'm more on the airline attendant side on this one.
He was judging me of like, "Ooh, you look like real shit, girl." For like,
well, that is like, I will say, my driver's license photo is a lot better to me, and I get like, if anybody even checks my ID anymore, they're always like, "Huh." You know, you can tell they got a little chuckle out of it. They're like, well, I mean, obviously,
they're like, "Sir, this is in black and white."
Well, they're like, it's like, obviously, you know, he's old enough to come in, but, you know, sad for him that he doesn't look like this anymore. Like, I always get that notion that I read on people's faces from my driver's license. Anyways, the point is the parents sit in first class, you guys, and the kids sit in coach. So another reason why they wouldn't know that Kevin isn't there. And Frank, Uncle Frank, this little son of a bitch, this funny son of a bitch, he goes, hey, it's real crystal, the salt shakers. And the wife's like, yeah, so he goes, put them in your purse. And he goes, Frank, I can't do that. Put them in your purse.
The wife looks like Mrs. like Doubtfire. She looks like
Megan McCarthy. She looks like Megan
does
McCarthy
not
a little
look
bit.
like
Megan McCarthy looks awesome. She does look like Megan McCarthy. She looks like a Megan McCarthy character.
Megan McCarthy is like beautiful. She does not.
I don't think this lady's
McCarthy.
ugly at all. Wait, I don't think this looks like a Megan McCarthy character, like the character she played in Spy.
Okay, yes, she looks okay, but that's not like Megan McCarthy, like what she looks like.
I wasn't talking about. By the way, I don't think that's what that lady looks like. The actor. I think that actor probably had her hair done up like this. It's a specific type of character.
A Universal Studios Mrs. Doubtfire.
I don't agree, but judge for yourself, you guys. This is what film critics do. You get it. We have disagreements.
If it was a Watch What Happens live poll. All right, audience, go to the polls.
Go to polls at SoBadIt'sGood.com. We're taking a live poll. Is Bethany Frankel a piece of poop? Peter goes, Kate goes, don't you feel like a heel flying first class with all the kids back in coach? He's like, the kids are fine. Kids are going to be okay. We cut to the McAllister house. Kevin wakes up. And
he was like, there's much more sense of community in coach. Trust me. Like in Bridesmaids, like they're much more comfortable in coach. But
man,
the taking the salt and pepper shakers, like RJ took silverware from the Mexican restaurant like 2 weeks ago. Like it's just something weird. Like it's something that's super embarrassing.
Annabelle, maybe that's a good Christmas gift for him. Maybe it's a good Christmas gift for him.
I did get them gifts. I got them gifts 3 months ago. Well,
it's so funny how she just realized a very specific question that was asked. Isn't that weird?
I got Nancy a saddle and I got RJ drone pictures. I sent you one of those drone pictures.
Wait, drone pictures or a drone?
Oh my God. No, he'd be terrified of a drone. No, drone pictures.
But you got your mom a saddle?
That's
a good gift.
See, I'm a good gift giver. I just forget about them.
Did you wrap it yet?
No.
Are you going to wrap it?
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it when I find.
How do
Keith
you
who
wrap a
doesn't have any
saddle?
wrap.
How do you wrap a
Oh
saddle?
no, because it's gonna be in like a box. But I just
Oh, okay. I was like,
wrapping paper
that
doesn't
just
have
that
words
seems
on
like
it.
so complicated to wrap a saddle. But
Well,
if
I
it's in a
shouldn't say
box,
saddle. It's a Sibian, but kind of like a. It's gonna be a very big box.
So Kevin wakes up. He's like, Buzz, Mom, Dad, hello, Rod, Uncle Frank, is this a joke? Megan, Lenny, is this a joke? It's only my imagination, And it cuts to the garage. He's like, the cars are still here. They didn't go to the airport. And then he goes in the house and he's like, I made my family disappear. And we start seeing these flashbacks of like Megan's like, Kevin, you're completely helpless. Lenny go, Kevin, you're what the French call lait competent. And Buzz is like, Kevin, I'm going to feed you to my tarantula. Kevin, you're such a disease. There are 15 people in this house and you're the only one that has to make trouble, his mom says. And Frank goes, look what you did, you little jerk. And then Kevin smiles and he goes, I made my family disappear. And then it turns into a fun and we're having fun. And it's like celebrating the freedom of being home alone. And this is like the real, like where it's like fun to be without your parents. We cut to Buzz's room and Kevin opens Buzz's trunk and he grabs a Playboy magazine and he goes, ugh, no clothes on anybody. Sickening. And I was like, just wait,
Did you
Kevin.
see the outside where it was like Playboy, like newscasters of America?
No, I didn't see that. No.
It
Oh
was
my
like
God. Wait, is
newscasters.
Jane Pauley the cover girl?
And I was like, oh my God, finally Ann Curry getting the attention she deserves.
Wait, who's the who's that blonde one on Fox News? The
The blonde one on Fox News. that fucking narrows it down.
So anyways, cool firecrackers. I'll save these for later. And he goes, Buzz, I'm going through all your private stuff. You better come out and pound me. And this is when Kevin finds a framed picture of Buzz's girlfriend. And he goes, Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Now, I will tell you a behind the scenes fact about this moment. That John Hughes and Christopher Columbus felt so bad about this joke that the girl in the picture is actually a boy dressed in a dress with makeup. So they didn't ever want to make this is not a joke. They just didn't want ever a girl to be used as this joke. So they put a boy in makeup and a dress. And I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Which is very sweet. Like I always think of with the fat characters or whatever in movies, especially fat girl characters where I'm like, oh, on one hand, you're so excited you get a part, but and then you're like, oh, it's just me being made fun,
Oh man,
I've been
told, yeah.
I just always think of the girl in Mean Girls where they're where it's the quote unquote fat girl where when she bumps into Regina where she's like, watch where you're going, fat ass, where it's just
oh dude, being an actor is the worst for so many ways
she's
because
there's the fat one, but she's telling Rachel McAdams that she's the fat one, but it's just and then Katie Heron compliments her when she's breaking up the crown and giving the spring fling crown pieces of it, and she's like, your hairdo looks really beautiful and it must have taken hours. Here's a piece of crown for you. And I'm like, oh, but then on the other hand, you get to be in the Mean Girls film where so it's
yeah, it evens out. No, but I remember as an actor, commercial audition wise, I remember when I would get pulled in for these were the worst. And I told my agent, don't but I have no power. My agent would send me in sometimes for swimsuit ones, where they were but they'd be funny. But I have I have love handles that are love handles, you don't see the love hand and I'd love to be the one that
self-hate handles.
I'd love to be the one that normalizes love handles for everybody. But when you're in a room for an audition and they're take off your shirt and you're trying to do a fun scene on a jet ski, you're just thinking the whole time of oh my God, am I jiggling? And I remember the one time I did it at 200 South La Brea was where the commercial audition place was on the second floor. I remember going in and nobody was there. So I was like, okay, I can take my shirt off just for the casting director. And then I go out and I realize there's a group of girls standing there and the video is on of my room where I had taken off my shirt and rode the jet ski like this. And so I just must have been jiggling. And I was like, I was so, it was
Why are
such
they
a,
making like they had like a jumbotron like in Times
well, no.
Square,
So
like
okay. So at
doing
Tour de
like
South La
a
Brea, you would have the normal like waiting room with all the actors, and then there would be like this door you'd go into, and then there was like a back area that you would wait where there would be TVs up for the casting directors, and then you'd go into the actual audition room, which is the last section of it. But in that middle area, there's all these TV screens, and it was totally empty when I went in there. But by the time I got out, there was like a group of people standing around, and I was like, oh, and it was like 8 feet away from me, but it was my room. And I was like, no. And I just
So
like
did they give
ran.
you like a real like jets like a real like to pretend on, or did they give you like one of those outside of like grocery stores? Do you remember when they used to have those like little like toy like horse machines where you'd pay 25 cents to ride like one of those like machine horses or whatever? Like one of those like up and down like toys. Like what did they have you pretend to ride on?
Oh, it was so commercial auditions, they would always have like two black boxes and like a chair. Like there would never be the right prop. Like it wasn't about props, it was about creating. So it would be like
It's about space work. You were
well,
like,
it would be like sometimes they
own.
would have like for car ones, they would have a driving wheel sometimes. But for this one, they would just be like, yeah, just put your hands out and just go like this. Like
I love
you're
you say
humping.
driving wheel instead of just a steering wheel.
Oh, sorry, steering wheels. Oh, wait, what are those? Well, in the
You're like
40s,
me and
they
my
call,
like
40s, if in the
my
40s,
Fords,
in
my
the 40s, they call it a
automobile.
driving wheel.
Like-
Anyways, yeah, it was like so. Those were the worst ones when you had to take your shirt off and you weren't comfortable with your body. And I was just like, damn. And so
At least
know,
got to those auditions.
no,
Like,
but it was funny.
just, like,
Well, I
passed
shouldn't
over,
have
like,
been. I should, well,
online.
like it's hard to explain to your agents. You're like, dude, I don't. You see, my headshot looks fine, but I have love handles, and you're trying to explain it to them, and they're like, I don't get it, and I'm like, the love handles, and then like I just imagine like I would love.
Doctor, try going to your colonic doctor, and
why do you have a colonic? By the way, that's not
well,
a.
I don't
By the way,
have
there's
one
not
now,
a colonic doctor.
in
It's
LA,
somebody that
like,
gives colonics.
Okay, he was a doctor who, looking back when I watched this like Matthew Perry thing, where this Matthew Perry interview when he was like, I was on like 50 Vicodin a day or like whatever he said. And I was like, I love that I went to like a doctor of like him and Hank Azaria's. Like I saw online of them doing like a YouTube sponsorship for this guy. And Ryan, I swear, like if you Google Dr. Bo Wagner, and he was like a doctor to like a bunch of celebrities. And I will say, like his products were amazing, which probably like really fucked me up. Because he had this like little juice that he, like wore like if you drank it for 2 days, you would literally lose like 5 pounds. Like it was like crazy. Like it was.
Oh my God, let me drink it now.
And like Jenny McCarthy and like Jessica, like all these like people like would go to him. And so like I paid a bunch of money to go to him. And so I started doing colonics, which I had like never done before. And then like when I came back to see him after I had gained weight, but it's like now looking back at those pictures, when you wish you could go back to the first time when you were like, I thought I was so fat. And
yeah.
Look at pictures.
Man, I kill to look at like.
I would kill anyone. I would kill this entire house full of children in this movie to go back to a picture of me when I was like, I felt so fat. And now I'm like, I could not fit like an arm into what I was wearing now. But when I went and I was just like, yeah, I'm just like, I know I've just gained a lot of weight. So I feel like I'm like, I just need to go back on the program. And he was like, yeah, when you've just exploded, and made the like sound like made the mushroom cloud like sound of like you've just exploded. He goes, you must only be going out for fat rolls right now. And I was like, well, I'm not going out for any roles, but thank you for thinking I'm getting.
People are so fucking rude. And I work out with this. Yeah. Okay. So back to the movie. Kevin is having the time of his life, and we cut to Kevin in the living room watching a movie that doesn't exist. They filmed it just for this, but it's called Angels with Filthy Souls, and
it's a black and white movie.
Black and white film, which I don't know why a kid would like go to that, but I guess what it is, I think it represents is this is probably like an R-rated black and white movie that he's like, he was never able to watch. So that's what my backstory is. And we have this character of Johnny goes, who is it? And Snakes is like, it's me, Snakes. I got the stuff. And Johnny's like, leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here. And Snakes is like, all right, Johnny, but what about my money? What money? AC said you had some dough for me. Is that a fact? How much do I owe you? AC said 10%. Too bad AC ain't in charge no more. And Kevin screams out, guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me, trying to will his parents back. And then we go back to the movie and Johnny's like, he'll call you when he gets out. Hey, I'll tell you what I'm going to give you, Snakes. I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get you ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. And Snakes is like, all right, Johnny, I'm sorry, I'm going. And Johnny goes, 1, 2, 10. And then he shoots his Tommy gun. And then and then just a lot. And Kevin's like, oh, fuck. And he goes, keep the change, you filthy animal. And Kevin pauses the film and he's like, Mom. And then we cut to the plane. And Kate, the mom, checks her pocketbook. She's like, what's the matter, honey? He's like, I have a terrible feeling. And he's like, oh, that's probably your time of the month. And no, he didn't say that, but I was just seeing if Annabelle was paying attention. And
no,
Peter
I was
goes,
gonna say, I'm like, I can't believe you're going line by line of this. And then when you said that, I was like, oh, I guess I missed that line because I don't remember it.
Anyways, she's like, I feel like I forgot something. And they're like, did I turn off the coffee? And he's like, no, I did. Did you lock up? Yeah. Did you close the garage? That's it. I forgot to close the garage. That's it. And Kate goes, no, that's not it. What else could we be forgetting? And then there's a moment, Kevin! And then right at this moment, we cut to Kevin with a sled at the top of the stairs and the front door is open and he's going to slide down the stairs and go out the door into the snow. And we cut back to the plane and they're like,
downstairs. We did that in college.
but also this is like, we cut to the flight attendant going, ma'am, the captain's
Like you're like, I'm not acknowledging this.
No, that's college. We're going to go back to the moment in a second, but we go to the flight attendant. The captain's doing all he can, ma'am, but your phones are still out of order, which I'm like, wait, you can call people on a plane? They never let us use our cell phones. So how are they even trying to, how is this technology?
They used to have those like they used to have those phones attached to the back, but
why did they is that because of 9/11 too? Was that because of 9/11 too? They stopped that? No, I'm not joking.
I don't know.
Because
I
people,
still had
remember when people were like calling their families during 9/11 like on the plane?
Yeah,
so sad.
Yeah, I remember Hugh Grant's, opening monologue of Love Actually. Yes, I remember them talking about the.
By the way, we were like, oh, should we do Love Actually or this? And everybody voted for Love Actually, but I was like, there's like really, really, really depressing moments in Love Actually that I'd forgotten about. That I was like, I don't even want to talk about, like about cheating and about like I was just like, this, let's make fun of this kid. It's like a fuck up,
That's one of the reasons why I didn't know if you were kidding at the beginning when you said like, at the beginning of like 5 hours ago, when you said like Catherine O'Hara was only 18 at the, when she filmed this, because it's like one thing about Love Actually, it's like that Keira Knightley, this is like is only 8 years older than the like little kid in the Love Actually movie. She's only 8 years older, which is like
for real?
Yeah, which is like insane to think about. And then also another, like, then something I saw on Twitter, which I like thought was a joke. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, it's real. And it was cut out. So like at the end of like Love Actually, when like the little kid is like running to say goodbye to like Joanna at the airport, like they cut some ridiculous scene. It's like, it's still him running through the airport, but they cut the scene of like, I guess him being like a gymnast. And so it's like him running through the airport, but then doing all these, like, I don't know, like insane, like Gabrielle, like whoever like was like that amazing, like gymnast, like a few years ago, like insane, like gymnast, like routines, like through the airport and like getting away from like running like TSA agents by like swinging on like monkey bars and like doing like a like triple flip, like insane, like in like ridiculous, like gymnasts where they're like, this was like cut out for like this storyline was cut out. And I'm like, Liam Neeson with his fucking giant penis and like this like gymnast kid. You knew that like Liam Neeson had like a famously like large penis, right?
No, I've always appreciated Liam Neeson for his acting work. I've not actually been aware of
You
this.
don't know him from his penis work?
I really don't. I know John Hamm has a huge hog. Hog's ham, as we call it.
When I read Andy Cohen's like first book,
This was in Andy Cohen's book that Liam Neeson has a huge dong.
Not his first book, not Most Talkative, but like the second one of like Andy Diaries or whatever, because he was very good friends with like R.I.P. Natasha Richardson.
Oh yeah,
the mom
Liam's
in
wife,
like
yeah.
Parent Trap,
Yeah.
and she was married to Liam Neeson. And he was like very good friends with them and like wrote about his like giant dick in his like in the book. And like Kevin Smith has talked about like Liam Neeson's like
Oh my God. I would kill to be written like this about this like this. Like, I mean, that's so cool.
I
Like,
mean, can you think about how many like rolls of Scotch tape he would even have to use to wrap around his dick?
You
like,
know what? Yeah, but there's not enough Scotch tape
one
in
of
the
those
world.
like gift packs.
You know what? Like, you know what? Even like the other thing is like that bums me out. Like, what the actual conversation about my dong would be. Like, if there was just a group of girls that had all seen it at a certain point, they're all in one room. Maybe this is in heaven. Who knows? And they're all like, that Ryan Bailey. What about him? They're like, it's good. It's average. Yeah, it was like an average penis. Like, I know they would be like, it was average. It was average. It was cool.
That is how I imagine heaven being, is just a bunch of girls standing around talking about your dick. Which
is
I've
such
been like, you know what? I'll go to hell. I'm sure.
By the way, knowing heaven like I know heaven, I would probably be right outside the pearly gates overhearing this and crying. Like,
what do you want to hear when you get to, like, if James Lipton was asking me, what do you want to hear? If God exists, what would you like to hear him say to you when you enter the pearly gates of light? When he was like, up here, we only talk about so bad it's good host Ryan Bailey's penis, and then like, send me back, send me downstairs.
I think that's the hard part about having large legs is, like I always say, you just don't get, like, it's like dimensions. Like, you know, like you don't, like if I had little tiny stick legs.
I'm sorry, did you say it's like dementia or dimension?
Dimensions.
Okay, because I do wish I had dementia.
Dimensions. I always say this: if I had little tiny Pinocchio legs and my penis, it would be considered ginormous. Like, it would be considered like, holy shit. But I have thick thighs.
If you had like Sutton legs, that you'd be exactly. I feel like Liam Neeson.
Well, yeah, because it would be like, holy, because I have thick thighs. So anything compared to my thighs, if you compare my penis to my thighs, it's not proportional. But if I had tiny legs, I would be visually stunning in the penis area.
So, like, if you had like
with that and the huge bush I have, of course.
Like American Girl doll sized legs, like
no.
Would be
normal size leg. No, I'm the same height. This doesn't affect my height, but just teeny tiny stick legs. So what I'm saying is that I have big legs. So then my penis. I don't know if you know
how proportions or
By the way, we're only talking about this because there's an exact scene like this in Home Alone when he takes a shower in a second. But you know what I'm saying? If you compare anything to my legs, it's going to look dwarfed in size because my legs are so big and muscular.
Right.
They are muscular. They're not like, I'm not saying they're just fat. There's muscular legs, you know, but I'm just saying that's where I think, like, you know, sometimes I've imagined God, like when he puts us together, it's like Barbie parts, and like maybe I know, you know, God doesn't make mistakes and blah, 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 but like maybe like God was like talking to, you know, his son.
I feel like if anyone listened to us, people have been like, no, God does make mistakes. Like,
well, I've certainly made a mistake listening to these two bozos. No, but I always figured like God taking like random Barbie parts and like putting them together, and he like accidentally put like different legs with mine, like not proportionate.
He's like, guys, I'm tired of the same, like it's just like Monday, the same routine. Check this out. Let's have some fun. And then they're just like sitting a bunch of it. And
that's
like,
what. No, I always think, Annabelle. I always think
down.
When the Kardashians return to heaven, God will be like, Wait, I didn't even fucking recognize you. What the fuck, Chloe? Like, what'd you do? This is not how I created you. Like,
I
wait,
like
are you
that-
kidding me?
That you're like, I don't just like to think of like God in heaven being like, all right, I put together 2 ridiculous things and I'm going to send to Earth, which I think will, laughter is the best medicine besides medicine.
It'll bring great
And
joy. It'll bring great joy.
I think I'm sending these 2 things. All right, one's a platypus, and the other's Ryan Bailey.
Check out these legs. His dong looks small by comparison.
Makes no sense physically.
And God is how he goes,
You're like,
what the
why?
funny? He goes, no, you don't understand. It's a visual joke. Like what it is that it's a normal sized dong, but I'm putting extremely large legs around it. And so this guy, his whole life is going to wonder if he actually has a decent sized dong or not. Like he's his whole life, like, into his 40s, he's going to wonder if he has a normal sized dong or not.
And it's like the funniest part is like everyone else on Earth is going to say, no, it's not a regular size. It's ridiculously embarrassing. He's like, which makes the joke funnier because he's not doing like an Andy Kaufman because he's not in on it. He like,
Yes.
it's like,
and then everybody around, and by the way, everybody around
like,
God, all the apostles, everybody up there is like, they're all like having to like go along like, oh, that's hysterical, God. And they're like, that's not cool. Like, that's like a weird thing, but they're all too afraid to step to God because they're like, he's God. And by the way, even me saying this, now there's going to be a thing in heaven where the God's like, I didn't love the God routine. That's not how I made you. Like now we're going to have a discussion.
That she's going to be like,
yeah.
I didn't.
No, there's like this. I mean, this is going to cause waves up there. That's what this conversation right here, I'm going to have to revisit at some point in heaven, hopefully, knock on, but anyways, back to this this kid left her kid, this mom left her kid alone at Christmas, and they're in a plane. Could you imagine how pissed you'd be if you had to turn around because some mom left their kid
because some mom fucking left their kid.
Oh,
and then,
dude, it would be like, no, we aren't going back.
Listen, lady, you have 4 more of them. Listen, if we were in fucking medieval times, listen, you'd be a fucking, she would be Octomom. Listen, in medieval times, you're lucky if you get 1 to the age of fucking like 8 years old. So listen,
I honestly, to tell you the truth,
the reason you have 5, you got 4 more.
I honestly thought this would end. I thought this would end the parents' relationship, and in Home Alone 2, they would be a divorced family, but they're still together in Home Alone 2. Because I would also think the dad's like, they make the dads like working all the time, but you'd be like, I put you in charge of the kid. Like, it's very not right, but like like men sometimes go, oh, well, you have to raise the kids. I'm making the money for everybody. And so I just thought like, wow, is there going to be a fight on the plane between this? Like, there was one damn thing I asked you to do. Count the kids.
I don't mean to generalize. I know some dads are super into kids, especially their own, probably.
Hopefully.
But like, I don't think that like most dads would just, I imagine like most dads like hearing this, if this was happening, he'd be like, oh, this is gonna really,
he's like,
this is gonna interrupt my Paris fuck fest.
Yes. Well,
she's just gonna be fucking moaning
gonna
about
be
the kid.
worse.
That's just gonna be all about the kid.
I was waiting for the scene where Peter's like, dude, he'll be fine. Like, and also this is where cell phones would have really come into play of like, okay, are you okay? Like, we're going to get, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough scenario.
It's so crazy watching this because it is like, if we were watching this movie, because I guess it's been a really long time since I've watched a movie like this old, like that, like because even just like, if you watch like fucking like She's All That or something, like the technology is like, wow, this is so ridiculous and out of date. Like watching something like this, it is like watching It's a Wonderful Life or whatever, which I also haven't seen. But like where it's so insane to see a time where there weren't cell phones or there were, like internet, because now it would be like, this would be like a viral TikTok. If he was like,
I know, see, but it looks like
he would be like a fucking influencer overnight.
But doesn't it look like more fun back then? Like you would actually play around with like trying to like hit burglars with paint cans and shit like that instead of like being glued to your, by the way, because the reality of this, if we lived in today's time, this Kevin would have got onto the dark web, would have like saw some really raw material, would have started plotting something about a school. It would have just been a mess because this kid would have tried to take it out on society. And like, thankfully, we were in a much simpler time.
Much sweeter time where he just plays with a BB gun. When I saw like a giant gun in like the gross older brother's room up on the wall, and I was like, oh no. And then it was like, it's just a BB gun. And I'm like, oh, such sweet times. Oh, such adorable sweet times. Because this was before like Kevin would have been radicalized on Reddit. Like,
yeah, by the time the parents get home, he's like, I have no parents.
Yeah,
the internet is my parents. I will. He's like, I created an AI program that makes people weird versions of themselves. Anyway, so like don't beat yourself up. But I would have been like, beat yourself up, man. Like, yeah, that's shitty parenting right there. Like, you did forget a kid, and also like none of the kids on the plane like this. And this also, the backstory is so important here. Is like none of the brothers or sisters seem like they like Kevin at all because none of them knew that Kevin was there. Like like he doesn't have a person in that family that's rooting for Kevin, because you would think he'd be close to one of his sisters where they'd be like, oh, I want to go see how Kevin's doing since he's 8 years old. Not one of those kids did that. And that just shows you that this kid must have been a nightmare potentially.
At that age, I mean, I'm an only child, so I don't know. Like, I know as like adults, you guys are supposed to be like probably better off, but it's like, as like kids, don't like most siblings like hate each other?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, no, there. You know what? A lot of times, yes, but then I
expected you to be like, well, I mean, I was hated a lot by.
No. Like, you would have like me and my sister aren't the closest. We get closer as we get older, actually. But like then my buddy Nick, he was best friends with his sister since they were, like young. Like I always thought that I was like, oh, well, that's so cool. Like me and my sister kind of like took divergent paths when we were younger. Like, so, and by the way, Christmas was horrible with my sister because she was I remember her opening this, like a Cabbage Patch doll when these things were fucking popular. There was like this thing, a Cabbage Patch doll in the 80s. My grandma got her one, but she got her the wrong one. And she opened it up on Christmas Eve. And my sister was like, it's the wrong one. And my dad was like, Grandma worked very hard to get you that Cabbage Patch. And by the way, it kind of was a shitty cat. It was like a KC Royals, like it had a baseball hat on. And I was like, dude, of course.
Was it like a knockoff Cabbage Patch Kid?
No, it was a real Cabbage Patch.
Like lettuce baby.
Yeah, I mean, people were dying. People were dying over these cabbage. People were killed over these cabbage patch. So, but it was not, it was like, okay, yeah.
Were you one of those like families who opened all the presents on Christmas Eve?
No, you got to open one.
Okay.
And that was only from grandparents or something like that at the time, because
they're like, we don't know if she's going to make it to tomorrow. So open grandma's gift now.
Because Santa still existed then, and Santa came out at night when we had already gone to sleep.
I believed in Santa to like an embarrassingly long age. So like my parent would like tell like,
Annabelle, you don't need to let us know. We know. Like we do. We're aware. I don't think anybody was like wondering.
You're like, I don't think anyone was wondering if you believed in an old man.
No, so last year
anything you wanted.
So last year must have been a tough year.
I'll let you watch me do things.
Last year was tough when you found out, huh?
Yeah, and I still won't believe it. I still don't believe it.
No, I believe in the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of older tubby men, but like I don't.
And I'm like, it's all celebrated, and literally like fucking capitalism and everything around it is like ingrained into children of like this, and like every normal house is decorated with this person, with this old man, like to give you things. And then it's like, when you appreciate old men who like want to give you things when you're older, then you're considered like a gold digger. And it's like, and it's just like, what have you ingrained in everyone of just like, listen, this old fat man will give you anything you want. All you have to do is sit on his lap for a little bit and like be like, I'm nice.
Santa was Santa was the original sugar daddy.
He was.
Santa was the original sugar daddy. You're right. Like he was the first one that was like, asking me for anything. I got you. Just be good. Just be
nice.
good. Just be nice and
don't
good.
Be on my naughty list.
Yeah, just don't be it because you don't want it on the naughty list. So, anyways,
I watch
Rebecca.
you when you sleep, like, and it's just like, oh, little girl, I'm watching you.
Ew, and little boys too.
So weird.
Don't
and
don't just make it little girl, little boys too.
And then you have your little elf on the shelf, like this little cuck in the corner.
That's
like,
new.
I'm just
That's
playing
a new
with my
thing.
little. I'm just in the corner playing with my little tag, watching you. Like it's just so like it's just so.
And you parents that like set up these elaborate elf on a shelf scenarios. Like I'm like, God, if you put half that focus onto your kid, like I mean, like some of these elf on the shelf, like I'm watching on Instagram. There's like I'm like, it's like, oh my God, these are so detailed, and it's like some of them are dark. Like
and she's like, oh my God, what? My kid's playing in a plastic bag? I had no idea. I was so worried.
My elf on the shelf, my elf on the shelf would be like upside down, empty, tiny liquor bottle, like just like a like tiny, like I would put like some like green peas, like he puked, you know, like I would make my elf on a shelf have a drug problem, and each day it would get worse. Where by the end it would be like the elf would be in my kid's bed. It would be like, I'll touch you for a sweet hit of that crack, kid. By the way, no, just so everybody feels better, I don't have kids, so don't come at like I don't. So don't.
Just so everyone knows.
No, everybody's safe.
Brian doesn't have kids. He just watches them. He doesn't own them. No matter how many times he's tried to buy them.
Okay, there. I'm gonna get fucking mail. I'm gonna get mail.
So he can afford to buy a kid from Wayfair.
Stop.
That will deliver free shipping.
Stop. Make love. Safe word.